EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Just gone 7:45 Monday evening. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. I'm Ian Danter. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, the former Liverpool and Sheffield United women's striker, is alongside me. We're about to bring you exclusive commentary of Birmingham City against Leicester City in the Championship. The leaders, Leicester, looking to go 3 points clear at the top with a win against a Birmingham side who got just their second win in 10 under Wayne Rooney against Cardiff last time out. We'll get the odds from Will Gavin and our friends at William Hill in just a moment, but let's check in at the Alexandra Palace on night 4 of the PDC World Darts. Match 1 well underway, and Paul Nicholson is there for Talksport 2.
Thanks, Dance. We've got a game on the hockey right now between Belgium's Mario van der Brugge and France's the French touch Thibaut Tricol. The first set was won by Mario van der Brugge by 3 legs to 2, but Thibaut brewing 2 missed darts at double to win that set by 3 legs to 1. As it stands at the minute on the hockey, in our second set, it's 2-2 again after van der Brugge this time has missed 2 set darts. I wonder if he's going to rue those.
Nico, thanks very much indeed. Gerwin Price in action later tonight, and also the prodigious young Dutch talent of Rian van Veen. We'll be checking in with Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason throughout the evening on Talksport 2 during the course of our Birmingham-Leicester commentary to let you know exactly what's happening at the PDC World Darts. And of course there'll be plenty more live darts on Talksport 2 as we go throughout the week here. For example, tomorrow we will be there for the afternoon session between 12:30 and 4:30. Tomorrow night we will have international cricket on Talksport 2, the 4th T20 match between the West Indies and England. 2-1 in the series to the West Indies. England with that brilliant comeback on Saturday night with Phil Salt getting his debut T20 century for England. That's just some of the live sport we've got coming for you here on Talksport 2. But it's high time we got the odds ahead of kickoff here at St Andrews with our friends at William Hill.
In the Zone on Talksport 2 with official betting partner William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
And Will Gavin joins us from William Hill to give us the tale of the tape ahead of tonight. So the Blues against the Foxes. Will, what are the punters saying?
Evening, Dance. Yeah, I mean, you said it. Birmingham just their second win in 10 under Wayne Rooney this past week, and despite being at home, they are big underdogs with William Hill tonight, 6-1 as it currently stands. While Leicester, to go 3 points clear at the top, you can get 5-2 odds on as it currently stands. The draw is 10-3. So with those Leicester odds, as long as they are, you'd need to look for a way to try and boost that potentially. If you do fancy Birmingham to get a goal, but Leicester still to win, Leicester to win and both teams to score, you can get 19-10. Well, for you boosted odds as well, if you like Mavididi to score, Leicester to win and over 2 goals in the match, that's been boosted out from 7-2 to 4-1. On the Birmingham side, blue striker Jay Stansfield to have over 1 shot on target has been boosted out from 3-1 to 7-2. And yeah, we're just seeing quite a bit on the fact that Leicester being backed in a big way, but people trying to find ways to enhance those odds with a little something extra. So a lot of those are coming in right now.
Will, you have the voice of a man who's been up all night watching NFL until the wee small hours. Would I be correct in that assumption?
Yeah, absolutely, and probably again tonight, to be honest.
Good man. Proper team player. Thanks, Will. Will Gavin joining us with all the odds from William Hill. They were the latest odds with our friends at William Hill. Gamble responsibly. 18 plus only. The website you need for all the details is begambleaware.org.
In the Zone on Talksport 2 with official betting partner William Hill, giving you the tools for positive play. Take time to think and know your limits. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Well, as kick-off comes ever closer, let's now hear from the Birmingham City defender, Mark Roberts. This is what he had to say to Talksport's Lawrence Moore in midweek about that club's hugely important victory at Cardiff City.
There's been obvious frustrations and stuff going on, and that's obvious to see why, and where we've been no different really. They might think different, but it's nice to send them home with 3 points, and hopefully they can see a bit of progression and what we have actually been working on, and where we're going to move forward. And and hopefully we can put some more results like that together and, you know, send them home happy.
And I imagine it'll be absolutely bouncing at St Andrews on Monday, won't it?
Hopefully, yeah. Like I say, it's not going to be an easy one, but there isn't any in this league, and we can only prepare what we can do and prepare right and go into that game with a bit of confidence off the back of this, and you never know.
Mark Roberts there chatting with Talksport 2's Lawrence Mora after the win at Cardiff last week. Actually, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, Mark Roberts is an interesting case in point for Birmingham. Was a bit on the fringes until Kevin Long got injured. He's come back into the side, and despite, I think he was probably one of the few players in the game you saw against Coventry where he actually had a thumbs up rather than a thumbs down.
No,
Would that be fair?
he did. I totally agree. I think I was with Mark Wilson at the time, and I think we both agreed he was probably one of the only players in the Birmingham City shirt that came out of that game with a little bit of credit. And so it's quite funny. I'm laughing because I'm bopping along because I think the playlist here, and I always say it every time I come here, I think it's the best playlist in England pre-match. I know it's not a bit of you, but it's a bit of me.
Do you know who put that together?
Is it you?
I started to, yeah. Because years ago, I used to be the DJ guy here, and only for about 18 months. And Mr. Blue Sky was thrown in there, and various other bits and bobs. It was something that needed. It was tired at the time, and there's one thing that Birmingham are starting to get right now. It's things off the pitch. As you mentioned, the playlist. We've now got the seats in the Tilton Road end with the safe standing behind the goal to our left-hand side. All the seats are now in place in the bottom tier of the cop stand.
And the fire cannons.
And the fire cannons have even been brought in. Yeah, there's 2 new video screens on order for St Andrews. So there's a lot of cosmetic and capital investments that are being made here, but there's also a bit of heart and soul as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's important. Obviously, to a football club, you can invest money and make it look shiny and nice, but what football is and as always has been is about people coming together, and for that 90 minutes everything else sort of disappears, and no, it's everyone together in arms, and it's still important that you have that.
Sizable contingent of Leicester fans in the Gil Merrick end away to our right-hand side.
Same journey as me.
Hey?
Same journey as me, M69, M6.
That's very true. Yeah, it's not too bad on a Monday night, I would imagine, to come that way from the east to the West Midlands. And now the floodlights are going through their little light show, little dance routine. And the video screen starts to show a montage of various moments from down Birmingham City's history. Every club does this, of course, nowadays to try and fire up the supporters ahead of kick-off. So live football all week on Talksport and Talksport 2. Here we are tonight for Birmingham City against Leicester City. Tomorrow and Wednesday, our attention turns to the EFL Cup quarter-finals. Tomorrow, Chelsea against Newcastle on Talksport in the Carabao Cup last 8. And then on Wednesday, Liverpool against West Ham in another quarter-final. Thursday night, we go back to the Premier League, and it's Palace against Brighton, 2 teams that really do not like each other since the days of Alan Mullery and co from the 1970s. And then Friday night, we've even got Premier League football for you then as well. It's Sheffield United at Aston Villa on Friday night. That's live on Talksport. And then West Ham Man United to start game day on Saturday. In amongst all that, you've got live T20 cricket here on Talksport 2 tomorrow and Thursday evening. Can England turn it around in the Windies and turn a 2-1 deficit into a 3-1 win in the 5-match series? And of course the darts continues on Talksport 2. I'll be back to Ali Pally on Wednesday as our coverage continues of the PDC World Darts Championship through to January the 3rd, when the first World Sporting Champion of the Year will be crowned in North London. But Leicester want to be champions of the Championship, having dropped down from the Premier League. They spent some money last year. Their training ground is state-of-the-art, arguably, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, one of the best in the country, regardless of the division they're in. There was a lot of money, a lot of investment on that training facility for Leicester.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It's state-of-the-art. And obviously, when you're sort of putting that much money into a club, you want to make sure that it belongs to a Premier League club. And as it stands, they're doing everything in their power to make sure that this time next year they will be a Premier League side.
Leicester and Ipswich have definitely set the pace in the Championship as we head up towards the busy Christmas period. But Birmingham City got that very important win against Cardiff City last midweek. And as the teams make their way out, led by the referee, David Webb, the strains of Keep Right On start to ring around this famous stadium. We are Birmingham, says the moniker around the top of the stadium. Fireworks go off, letting off blue smoke all around the stadium. You can hear them going off right in front of us. Bit of razzmatazz these days at St Andrews. That was very much not in evidence.
I wasn't expecting the fireworks dance.
Well, that didn't scare you, did it?
I jumped out of my seat.
And the flamethrowers. The smoke might clear in time for us to see what's going on at kickoff. Let me run you through the teams once again ahead of this match getting underway. Birmingham City unchanged from that win at the Cardiff City Stadium. So John Ruddy is the goalkeeper. Emmanuel Iwu, Mark Roberts, Dion Sanderson and Lee Buchanan in the back four. Christian Bielik and Ivan Sunjic are holding in midfield. And then Sikiri Dembele, Jordan James and Juninho Bakuna, who scored the winner against Cardiff, in behind the on loan Jay Stansfield in attack. The Birmingham bench: Neil Etheridge, Scott Hogan, Lucas Jukovic, Koji Miyoshi, Gary Gardner, Manny Longello, Marcel Oakley, Oliver Burke and Ramel Donovan. Messrs Oakley and Donovan from the Birmingham City Academy that of course recently produced a couple of Bellinghams who were doing rather well. For Leicester City, they make one change from their 3-2 win against Millwall last week. Connor Cody drops out to facilitate the return to the back four of James Justin. So Vestergaard and Fass move along from where they were. Fass was playing left back against the London Lions. He's now back at centre half. So the Leicester lineup: Mads Hermansson in goal, Ricardo Pereira, well, he's right back, but he's more of an inverted right back in a Manchester City type of way. Fass, Yannick Vestergaard and James Justin make up the rest of the back four. Wilfred Ndidi, Harry Winks and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall are the midfield three. Abdul Fatawu, Steffi Mavididi and 2-in-2 striker Patson Daka keeps his place despite Kelechi Iheanacho being back fit and amongst the substitutes. No Jamie Vardy tonight for Leicester City, but the Leicester bench has two goalkeepers, Danny Ward and Jakub Stolarczyk, the Pole, along with him Connor Cody, Cesare Casadei, Kelechi Iheanacho, Harry Suter, Hamza Chowdhury, Tom Cannon and Ben Nelson. Birmingham in their traditional home strip of all blue shirts and shorts with white socks. Leicester City wearing their change strip tonight of a kind of a light orange strip with white shorts and orange socks. And there's an improved sound system here at St Andrews, so I can actually hear the traditional club song Keep Right On being played through the speakers here. A song that goes back to an FA Cup run way back when, just after the Second World War, when Harry Lauder's Keep Right On was sung on the team coach by the Birmingham players. Fans outside the club coach heard them singing it, and it was adopted there on in as the Birmingham City club song. There's talk of joys and sorrows, and really in the last 12 years of Birmingham City's existence since Premier League relegation, it's all been about sorrows rather than joys. But Tom Wagner, the new owner, and the Knighthead Group are trying to bring the good times back, but this is as stern a test as Wayne Rooney will have encountered since coming into the club as manager. Enzo Maresca has been almost faultless as Leicester City manager. What can the Foxes do here in the second city? Ready for the off on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Birmingham will get us underway as we sit towards the back of the main stand. Jay Stansfield rolls it back to John Ruddy, and Birmingham are kicking from left to right as we look towards the Gilmerick end. Leicester in that change strip of the light orange shirts, almost beige shirts, are kicking towards the Tilton Road end to our left in this first half, and already Kiernan Dewsbury Hall is trying to slip in Patson Daka down the left hand side of the area, hits it against Emmanuel Ayew, who prevents the corner, but it is a throw-in for Leicester City down the left hand side. Might be two balls on the pitch, so James Justin will have to delay the throw just for a moment in the first minute of the game. 0-0 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. The last championship game of this particular round this weekend, and Leicester will have enjoyed watching Leeds United and Ipswich Town drop points just beneath them at the top of the table. Stansfield winning the ball back from a slight miscalculation from Yannick Vestergaard, and Birmingham City have won a throw on halfway. 0-0. Here's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Yeah, and Vestergaard just gets caught in two minds there. He looks like he's going to play the ball long, hesitates, and Stansfield, that's what I like about him. He's always energetic on his front foot and does well to then win the throw-in off James Justin. But the atmosphere here has been a fantastic start, the pre-match. I'm just hoping now that the game lives up to everything around it, because it's been the atmosphere is absolutely cracking.
And they sing a chant towards their manager from the Tilton Road end, acknowledged by Wayne Rooney just down beneath us. Stood at the edge of his technical area. No sign of Enzo Maresca at the moment, just down beneath us at the bottom of the main stand. Free kick to Birmingham out on the far side, taken quickly by Buchanan to Bielik. Two former Derby County players will want to show what they can do against the East Midlands rivals Leicester City. Ball's back with 37-year-old John Ruddy in goal for Birmingham. Sanderson, just at the edge of his own penalty area, plays the ball square to Mark Roberts. He clips a diagonal ball out to the left-hand side and finds out that left-hand side Lee Buchanan, who's just wrestling for possession against Ricardo Pereira and does well. Back on halfway with Ivan Sunjic. Now Jordan James, the Welsh international, can turn, shoots for goal, but it's straight at the goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen, who holds on to it well. 0-0.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, although for me, you've got to slide Dembele in down the right-hand side. There's probably a better option. It's got to be something spectacular from there, but I like that big switch of play. I think that's where Birmingham can catch Leicester City out, because we know how they play. When the fullback comes in, they go inverted, and sometimes they get quite narrow. So if you can switch the ball quickly, it's definitely an outlet.
Vestergaard, who, as we were talking about with Rob Tanner from The Athletic before kick-off, just not getting a look in at Leicester last season, but rejuvenated under Enzo Maresca, and a very important cog in this machine. He's at the back now in possession, just taking the ball away from Stansfield, rolls it left to Justin, who plays a long ball down the left-hand side, but nobody had made a run for him. Mavididi had come short, so it just bobbles through to John Ruddy, the Birmingham keeper. 3 minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, and I think that's where the forwards have got to read each other. Yes, Mavididi's come short, so that's where Daka's got to realise you've got to work on opposites there. And, you know, if he does that, then he'll find himself in a lot of space down that left-hand side, Daka.
Janino Bacuna wins a throw for Birmingham out on the far side, in front of the Kop stand opposite us. Taken by Buchanan, back to Sanderson at the left-hand corner of his own penalty area. Squares it infield for Roberts, who can pass the ball out to this near side, and Emmanuel Iwu, who arrived in the summer from German football, was signed as a centre-half, but looks quite adept at right-back. Certainly did against Cardiff City, but I think you saw him at centre-half against Coventry, Courtney, when he looked a little flustered.
Yeah, he did. He looked a bit flustered, a bit exposed. It probably didn't help, you know, when you look at the situation as a whole as well. Sanderson wasn't in there that night, and I think, you know, they struggled in terms of that authority from the back line. Roberts takes a free kick down the right-hand side. Stansfield gamely giving chase down by the corner flag and kept it in, but only at the expense of a throw-in in the end to Leicester City in their left-back position. Leicester 6 unbeaten against Birmingham City since 2011. They won their last meeting in an FA Cup tie just before the pandemic hit in early 2020. Ricardo Pereira scored late on in a 1-0 win at the King Power. Now Abdul Fattah out on the right hand side for Leicester just clips the ball in field for Ricardo Pereira, playing in that inverted full-back role. He's not a traditional right back. Fattah shows great pace down the right hand side, but across comes Sunjic, puts his foot in, hits it against Fattah, and Birmingham City have a throw in their own half. 0-0. Yeah, he does well, and that obviously his speed is something that is massive part to his game. But in terms of the way that Birmingham City defended, that was really well. Came across quickly, got in his face, and then actually as well, I watched the rest of the back line just drop. For example, then if he did skip past, they know they've got a bit of time to assess the situation.
Leicester's home record absolutely tremendous. It's not faultless, but it's brilliant. 8 wins, 1 draw and only 1 defeat. That was in November when they lost at the Riverside against Middlesbrough. Birmingham have only lost once at home this season. That was to Hull City when Liam Rosenior came up against his compadre Wayne Rooney. They worked together at Derby, of course, and they got the win here Leicester coming forward with Wilfred Ndidi piling forward as he's been doing in this new role, but he shoves Sanderson to the floor, says the assistant Rob Smith over on the far side. So it's a free kick to Birmingham City down the left-hand side of their own penalty area. We've played nearly 6 minutes on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Birmingham City 0, Leicester City 0. Leicester bidding to go further clear at the top as their busy Christmas period starts. That game on Christmas Day, or Boxing Day rather, at Ipswich Town should be an absolute belter as the top two meet. Stansfield and James now on the right-hand side for Birmingham. Plays the ball in field to Dembele, who's trying to wriggle his way past the challenge of Justin. And he's won a free kick for Birmingham, about 35 yards out, just to the right of centre, 0-0.
Yeah, he does really well, Dembele, and I like the way he uses his body. You know, he's not the biggest, he's quite slight, but he uses his body extremely well there. Gets it across Justin, he knows. As soon as James Justin makes contact, it's a free kick.
So, free kick for the home side. And it is almost at the midway point of the half, but just to the right of centre, so it's arguably more than 45 yards out. But Juninho Bacuna is standing over it, very carefully places the ball down in front of the vanishing spray that David Webb has put on the turf. Leicester holding their line just outside the 18-yard box. Sanderson deep at the far post. Juninho clips the ball deep to that far post, headed across the face of goal. It might drop for James. Dembele picks it up, angles tight, drives it against Hermansen, and makes an excellent save to keep Leicester level. But Dembele wins it back inside the box, and it's hooked clear and out for a throw. And Mads Hermansen had to be at his best to deny Sekili Dembele from a tight angle, 0-0.
Yeah, he did extremely well, but the best bit about that was the little Cruyff turn by Dembele. The ball comes to him. He's shaped like he's going to hit it with his left foot. He doesn't, just drags it behind him, gets the shot off really well. But actually, in the build-up to the free kick as well, Bielik gets free far too easily for my liking. So Leicester City got to be better defending that.
5 goals already this season for the former Peterborough man, Sekili Dembele. It's a long throw, and Mark Roberts is the long throw specialist for Birmingham. He's drawing the ball on his jersey, level with the Leicester penalty area on this near side, the main stand side, with Birmingham attacking the Gil Merrick end in this first half where the Leicester fans are situated. Comes in from Roberts, fired into the near post and flicked on by Bielik. And again, Hermansen had to be agile, and he tipped it over the crossbar for Birmingham City's first corner of the game, 0-0.
Tell you what, that is a fantastic save. It's top class. The throw-in's good. It's got so flat, the trajectory, and Bielik knows exactly what he's doing, just trying to flick it on into an area. And it's a really good reaction save, isn't it, from Hermansen?
So a corner for Birmingham City where the Gil Merrick meets the main stand, down to our right-hand side. So it'll be a right-footed outswinger from Juninho Bacuna. Dembele's there for a short corner option, but defenders are in there too. Roberts around the penalty spot. Stansfield, the only Birmingham player in the 6-yard box, whipped in by Bacuna, flicked to the far post, and off the post as I think Roberts came flying in. It thudded against the upright, and now Leicester are on the counter-attack. Guided forward, looking to set Leicester away. It's chipped past the keeper, and Leicester lead through Steffi Mavididi. Birmingham City hit the post at one end. Leicester attack, and Mavididi lobs it past Ruddy, and in the blink of an eye, the Championship leaders are ahead. 9 minutes gone. Birmingham City 0, Leicester 1. Steffi Mavididi.
Well, it is unbelievable, this passage of play, and I was going to praise Birmingham because I like what they were doing. They were smelling blood. They were making it difficult for Leicester City, being combative from the set pieces, but then the balance, they get caught, the 2v1 in the end. Sunjic, there's hardly anything that he can do about this. He's caught, he doesn't know who to go to. He knows as soon as he moves, the ball's going to get played, which it does. But take nothing away from this finish, by the way, from Mavididi. It's exquisite. He just lifts it over Ruddy. It's a really, really smart finish, and we spoke about his end product before the game, Dance. Well, that's it. That's what he's improved on.
6th goal of the season for Steffi Mavididi, and he took it really coolly. And credit to Abdul Fattah for carrying the ball downfield and slipping in Mavididi with that 2-on-1 break. Birmingham exposed at the back as they were pushing forward and hit the post from that corner kick. So 1-0 to the Foxes, the Championship leaders, showing their form early on here on Talksport 2. Birmingham back in possession with the game having restarted. It's with Ivan Sunjic out to the left-hand side and Buchanan. Ball clipped in field for Bakuna. Tried to work it into midfield, but it's been won back by Leicester. And Mavadidi's there again, looking for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who carries the ball into the Birmingham half on the left-hand side, but elects to roll it back into his own half for James Justin. 11 minutes gone. 1-0 then to Leicester City. And Steffi Mavididi, the man who came from Montpellier, he was an Arsenal youth player, never made the grade at the Emirates, went elsewhere to forage a career, and now he's back in English football and really attuned to what Enzo Maresca wants out of him.
Yeah, he was absolutely excellent there. I think his run as well. I think people look at those 2v1 situations and think it's just easy, just run, but he arcs his run ever so slightly, and again, as I was saying for Sunjic, it's so difficult because he knows if he goes to Fatah, he's going to get passed round. He knows if he doesn't go, Fatah's just going to keep running with it. But I like the way that Mavididi arcs his run ever so slightly, and then as well, when the ball comes through to him, it makes it ever so slightly easier to lift because it's at a better angle for Ruddy, but still it's a very difficult chance and does so well with it.
Oh, an effort from Fatawu from just inside the Birmingham half to try and catch John Ruddy out, who bounced twice and comfortably fell for Ruddy in the end. Mavididi was booked, incidentally, for his celebrations at the Tilton Road end. He sat on the advertising hoardings behind the goal, arms folded, shushing the Birmingham fans in that Tilton Road end. And referee David Webb took exception to that, and he's booked him.
It's a celebration that's been doing the rounds ever so recently, the last couple of weeks, so it's obviously jumping on the high, but they probably didn't expect the yellow card for it.
He's not learnt it from you, has he?
No, definitely not me.
Out to the left-hand side, Birmingham in possession with Buchanan, but he couldn't find Bakuna down the left-hand side, so Leicester City have a throw. They'll go 13 points clear of third place if they get the win here tonight, Leicester City, and they hang on to this scoreline. They've got the best defence in the division as well, so now that they're ahead, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, this is where Leicester City, in theory, come into their own. Yeah,
it's just the margins are so fine. The way that Birmingham, they rattle the woodwork, it's just about only stop moving. That was how ferocious the shot was. And then, say they get caught, the balance in terms of the players that are back isn't right. And Leicester City just showing their quality and their experience. The way that they went from box to box so quickly was absolutely incredible.
Quick goal kick by Ruddy away to our left. Bielik under pressure from Dewsbury Hall inside his own penalty area. Plays the ball out left to Buchanan. He gives it back to Bielik, who's in the left back area. He's given it away to Ricardo Pereira, the Leicester captain. Played the ball in field looking for Mavididi, but Birmingham have won it back, and now they can launch a counter-attack. Dembele, right-hand side. Blue shirts rushing up to try and join him. Dembele, right-hand corner of the penalty area. Next infield to Sunjic. Gives it back to Stansfield! It's 1-1! And a counter-attack leads to a second goal at St Andrews. And this time it's Jay Stansfield firing the ball home. Dembele carried the ball forward, but it was the quality of the pass from Ivan Sunjic that got Stansfield in behind, and a low finish past Hermansen and in at the bottom corner brings us level. It's Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 1.
Well, you can't fault the mentality, because they didn't sulk Birmingham since Leicester scored. Yes, there's been a few stray passes, which you'll expect, but the energy has been brilliant. Dembele does ever so well down this right-hand side, and then the little layoff to Sunjic, and that works because, yes, the quality of the pass, but he does it on one. Just that little one round the corner to Stansfield, who takes it so well on his back foot, by the way, and then he takes the shot quickly. It's the little turn and swivel, short back lift, hits it quickly, so Harmison, he can't get set, and then just finding that bottom corner.
Sixth goal of the season for the on-loan Jay Stansfield. Came from Fulham at the start of the season. He had a loan spell at Exeter where his late father played, and had a smashing season at League One. And here he is at Championship level, looking very, very attuned to what his manager wants. Same as Mavididi for Leicester. So it's one apiece on Talksport 2 all of a sudden.
Well, I think that they're the only two chances, really. I know there was a couple of melees in the box, but the two big chances, and we've got goals. And I said, didn't I, start of the game, I hope this game lives up to the atmosphere. Well, it's certainly doing that so far.
Long ball downfield for Leicester, trying to get Mavididi in behind Iwu. Just bounces through to John Ruddy. And just catching our breath here for a moment with those two really well taken goals. Back it goes to John Ruddy. Sanderson inside his own penalty area gives it back to John Ruddy, and now Mark Roberts will thump it downfield right-footed, looking for Stansfield, but it's bounced over his head and indeed Vestergaard's, and gone straight through to Mads Hermansen. 1-1.
And I think you'd argue, to be honest, Dance, that Birmingham have been the better team. I mean, obviously that counter-attack from Leicester was absolutely electric, but in terms of chances created and making things difficult, I would say Birmingham have come out on top there, and I think they're slightly shading the possession as well.
But 3-on-3 for Leicester. Mavididi in again, left-hand side of the area, pulls it back to the edge of the box, but he pulled it behind all three Leicester players who were forward in that attack, and Birmingham managed to smuggle the ball clear, but it goes out of play for a Leicester throw on the far side. Breakneck tempo to this game. 16 gone on Talksport 2, 1-1.
It was Bacuna that did brilliantly well on the edge of the box there, using his body, defending well, and Birmingham getting to grips with that a little bit better there in terms of the bodies that are recovering, getting the balance a little bit better, and Bacuna using the strength as well.
Birmingham now trying to compress the play. They're defending midway inside their own half. When Leicester have it around halfway, they're almost inviting Leicester to try and get in behind them, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Well, yeah, because they're quite happy, I think, with that back line. It certainly looks a lot more stable with Sanderson in there, and they know they've got their own counter-attacking threats too, so if they can win the ball back, gives them a lot of space to attack.
Here is Ricardo Pereira, the Leicester captain. It's worked out to Mavididi, who's the pantomime villain already, it seems, tonight for his celebration at the Tilton Road end. That was the goal that got Leicester ahead, but Birmingham are level. If you're just tuning into EFL Live on Talksport 2, it's Birmingham 1, Leicester 1 at St Andrews. Crossfield ball looking for Mavididi, nodded down, trying to get into the path of Dewsbury Hall, but Birmingham get it clear, and Dembele tight to this near touch line, forgets to take the ball with him, and Mavididi powering infield from the left-hand side. Cross comes Roberts and then Bielik, who both win the ball. There was a look from Patson Daka towards the referee as if to say foul, and David Webb said no, play on.
No, and I like that from the referee. Two really good tackles in there, especially the first one from Roberts. Had to come a long way. It felt like he was sliding forever, but definitely makes good contact with the ball and takes a bit of the player as well.
Well, we are in a VAR-free zone here in the EFL. Stansfield giving chase to a ball clipped down the right-hand side, but that one's overhit, and Hermansen's got plenty of time, the Leicester goalkeeper, to collect and pass it out to the Belgian, Wout Faes. Unmistakable with his curly mop of highlighted hair, and he'll have the ball again midway inside his own half. Stansfield just walks toward him to put him under a little bit of pressure, so it's a square ball to the former Southampton man Yannick Vestergaard. He plays the ball into the feet of Pereira. We're seeing this a lot now with inverted fullbacks, whether it's a right or a left fullback. Pep Guardiola probably arguably started it, and so many. It's interesting when championship teams start deploying it, Courtney.
Yeah, as with so many things in life, it's almost like a fashion, isn't it?
Dewsbury Hall into the area for Leicester, clips the ball to the far post. It's just beyond Ruddy, who palmed it into the air, and then Buchanan had to help him out because Daka was very nearly onto it at the far post. That was dangerous from Leicester City. Dewsbury Hall jinking down the left-hand side of the penalty area, and his cross wasn't dealt with confidently by John Ruddy, but Lee Buchanan was there to bail out his goalkeeper. 1-1.
No, I don't think he was quite expecting the flight that was on the ball in the end. It's a bit of a peculiar angle. It's almost like a cross-come shot. He does manage to get a touch on it in the end. It's important because, as you say, lurking at the back stick there.
There was Fatawu as well who was in there. It just came off the tips of Ruddy's fingers, but Buchanan hooked it away from goal with those two Leicester players around him. So it stays one apiece on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. We brought you the Old Farm Derby on Saturday lunchtime on Talksport that ended 2-2 between Ipswich and Norwich. All square here as well. James for Birmingham looks to set Stansfield away down the right-hand side of the box. Lays it off to Dembele, right-hand corner of the area. He rolls it across to Bakuna, takes a touch at the edge of the box, tries to roll his defender, but good defending from Ricardo Pereira. And now Fatawu tries to set Dewsbury Hall away through the middle. He's got in behind Mark Roberts. Dewsbury Hall round the keeper. 2-1 Leicester. Another superb counter-attacking goal, and Leicester go back in front. And it's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall who showed Mark Roberts a clean pair of heels and calmly rounded John Ruddy, and the Championship leaders are back in front 20 minutes in at St Andrews. Birmingham 1, Leicester 2.
Well, he does ever so well with this Dewsbury Hall. And Leicester on the counter-attack, they've been absolutely lethal so far, haven't they? I thought Birmingham actually set up a little bit better this time. It's 3v2 in the end, but it's just Roberts and Sanderson. They can't quite catch Dewsbury Hall. Probably don't do enough in terms of getting bodies across as well. Sometimes you've got to take one for the team. It's Bakuna that gets pickpocketed on the edge of the box, but from there, I spoke about it pre-match, Dewsbury Hall for me had to improve going forward. We knew he had the quality, but had to do more with his end product, and we've seen it again there. And the little touch with his left foot, outside of his left foot across Roberts, sets it up perfectly, because he knows as soon as he gets across Roberts, he can't bring him down. It's a wonderful finish into an empty net.
That's his 7th goal and makes him Leicester City's top scorer in the Championship. As a consequence, what a season Kiernan Dewsbury Hall is having. He's got 8 assists to his name as well this season. Ball's back with John Ruddy, who will volley clear for Birmingham. So 2-1 to Leicester City. First match done and dusted on night 4 at the PDC World Darts. Who's gone through? Paul Nicholson.
Thanks, Dan. It's Thibaut Tricol, the first player from France to grace the Alexandra Palace, and he's the first French winner as well. After losing the first set, after missing 2 set darts, it was an exact 180 that happened in set 2, because it was Mario van der Bohada that missed 2 set darts, and Thibaut Tricol took full advantage. And from there, we had maximum legs for 4 sets. We had 20 legs, and it was Thibaut Tricol that took it by 3 sets to 1 with his second match dart and double 10. He's through to play Rob Cross, the number 8 seed, into round 2.
Cheers, Nico. Back at Alexandra Palace during the course of the evening here on Talksport 2, where it's Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2. The Championship leaders scored 2 quite brilliant counter-attacking goals to lead. Birmingham scored a counter-attacking goal of their own, but the Foxes have found their way to get their noses in front, but they've committed a foul on halfway. So Lee Buchanan, under pressure from Fatawu, has won the free kick, and it's been taken short back into Birmingham's own half for Christian Bielik. Roberts is just to his right. Bielik just taking the game down to walking pace for the moment. Stansfield has come short. It's a square ball to Mark Roberts. Plays the ball over halfway for Sunjic. Heavy touch from Jordan James, but a foul on a Birmingham player from Harry Winks as the ball was released, and it's got to be taken from a bit further infield by Ivan Sunjic, and he rolls it along the halfway line to Dion Sanderson. Now a permanent fixture at Birmingham, was originally on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Roberts, fierce ball out to Dembele, right hand side. He's in behind Justin, gets to the byline, fires it really strongly across the face of goal. Too much on it from Sekiri Dembele for the 2 Birmingham players rushing in, Bakuna and Stansfield. In the end, it's a Leicester throw on the far side in their right back position. 2-1 Leicester.
And again, Birmingham City, for me, responding well. It would be easier to feel sorry for yourselves a little bit, but they're still trying to do the right things, getting in the right areas. You can see in terms of the game plan, getting down the wide areas, which makes sense, because obviously when Leicester are in possession, the way they invert the full-back, there is that space in the wings, but it's just about being a little bit better with the ball in possession. And also, there's a lot of things we can speak about, but the 1v1 battle there with Sanderson and Roberts, with Dewsbury Hall, they've got to do better there as individuals.
Ball might roll through to Dembele on this near side, but Justin nipped in front of him. Iwu can't keep the ball in play. Slid in right next to the Leicester manager, Enzo Maresca, who of course did work with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, had a spell coaching in his native Italy, and was brought in the summer by the Leicester City board to try and get the Foxes back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. It does happen. There's plenty of occasions where the team that's been relegated has managed to get straight back to the top flight. and they are well placed and are set to go 3 clear at the top with this 2-1 lead that they have. 25 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Ball's back with Vestergaard, midway point of his own half. Plays a short ball into Winks, who turns it round the corner into the centre circle for Daka, who almost gave it away to Stansfield 25 yards out with a very heavy pass that I think was intended for Wout Faes, but almost went straight into the path of Birmingham's goal scorer.
Yeah, it did. He's probably inches away from it, Stansfield there, and that was a bit of a blind pass as well. Just that ball going back. I don't think he was quite looking as to assessing everything that was in the area, but just see now that the game has been so ferocious in this first sort of 27 minutes. It's just starting to slow down a little bit.
Sanderson has the ball at the back. There's a Leicester player on his haunches inside the centre circle. It's Patson Daka, but he's got to his feet. No foul given, and Stansfield sets Dembele away down the Birmingham right, approaching the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Iwu on the overlap, but a good defensive clearance out for a throw by James Justin gives Birmingham City a throw. 2-1 Leicester.
That's just a little end product on the ball by Dembele there. The ball was far too close to James Justin, and they're the little bits of difference just between Birmingham and Leicester at the moment. That bit of quality with the end product.
So Mark Roberts again with a long throw. The last one ended with Christian Bielik flicking the ball towards goal that was well saved by Mads Hermansen in the Leicester City goal. What's this throwing got? Again, it's low trajectory into the area, looking for Bielik once more. Sanderson trying to make a nuisance of himself. It's played in the air by Iwu, but there was a foul by Sanderson on Fatawu, so it's a free kick to Leicester City inside their own 18-yard box. Leicester keeping up their average goals per game, 2 goals per game, which is pretty good going, and they've done that already tonight. We've had 3 goals in just over 10 minutes of football here. Mavididi and Dewsbury Hall for Leicester, Stansfield for Birmingham, and it's 2-1 to Leicester.
Certainly more goals in it as well. By no means is this game done for Birmingham City either. I think the performance level has been good, yes. They've been done on the counter a couple of times. The balance, that's something that they need to attend to. But going forward, they've looked really expansive. They've looked dangerous, especially on the counter-attack, but also they've got that set-piece threat. And I think they can definitely cause a problem to Leicester City from set pieces, because they're very combative, more so than Leicester are. Iwu's
been tripped on this near side by Mavididi, so a free kick to Birmingham inside their own half. Sanderson plays a square ball for Roberts, and now a long ball downfield looking to get Stansfield away, but he can't find his man. But Dembele picks up the loose ball, hits it against James. James does well to keep it in play on this near side. It's going to be a throw to Birmingham, work back to Mark Roberts. So 2-1 to Leicester City. And just a hush falls over St Andrews for a brief moment as everyone gathers their breath. Ball out into the middle of the pitch. Bielik is caught by Dewsbury Hall. He'd lost possession of the ball, but David Webb decided that was a foul, and Birmingham have a free kick.
He doesn't help himself because he puts his hand out. I think Bielik was actually already going down, but as soon as the referee sees, the tug on the side, that's when he's going to give that free kick.
Ball's with Ivan Sunjic out to the left-hand side. Plays the ball downfield for Stansfield, trying to get the better of Faes down the left-hand side of the box, but Faes tidies up and gives it back to his goalkeeper. Oh, and the poor pass to Vestergaard that was almost taken off him by Jordan James, the Birmingham goal scorer. Now here's Sunjic, left-hand corner of the box, goes to ground. He's lost possession. Here come Leicester again on the counter-attack. They've got a man over once again. It's 4-on-3. Dewsbury Hall slips it into Daka. Daka inside the area, takes a touch inside his man, and that allowed Sanderson to get a foot in and get it clear. But again, Leicester marauding forward on the counter-attack with men over. They lead 2-1.
Yeah, they are, and you can hear the discontent as well from the Birmingham fans, because they're expecting a counter-attack of their own. Could have gone forward. Bielik stood on the ball almost not knowing what to do with it, but it's probably in essence the right idea on that occasion, purely because you don't want to get caught into that game almost like basketball where it's you attack, I attack, because unfortunately I think Leicester City are going to come off the better with that.
Free kick as Wout Faes is spoken to by the referee for a challenge on James. So Birmingham City have a free kick. Half an hour gone on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. The leaders of the Championship leading here and set to go 3 points clear of Ipswich at the top of the Championship. Ball's back with John Ruddy. Mavididi and Dewsbury Hall with the goals for Leicester. James with the initial response for Birmingham to get it back to one apiece. Here's Stansfield bringing the ball on his chest neatly on halfway. Flicks it right to this near touchline. Emmanuel Iwu. Iwu looking to get the better of Mavididi, but Mavididi takes it off his toe. Now tries to get past James, and he got past James and was brought down by the young Welshman, and that's a free kick to Leicester City on this near touchline. 2-1 to the Foxes.
Yeah, I think that's right, to be honest. There's no malice in the challenge whatsoever, but James doesn't get anything on the ball there whatsoever.
So the free kick for Leicester will be right in front of the technical area of Enzo Maresca. And it's worked back by Justin into his own half for Yannick Vestergaard. Winks, just shy of the halfway line. Lays it off to Justin. Dewsbury Hall once again, infield for Daka. Despite the attentions of Sanderson, works it out to Mavididi, who's jinking down the left-hand side, gets into the area, pulls it across the face of goal. Sunjic heads it half clear. Bakuna picks up the loose ball and tries to release Dembele downfield, but it's too long and too straight from Juninho Bakuna and gobbled up by the Leicester keeper Hermansen.
You just see there, Leicester City, that passage of play, how crisp, how quick the passing is. And I think, obviously, eventually that's what Wayne Rooney would want from his side. But I think you're just now starting to see that little bit of difference in quality between these two sets of players.
Mads Hermansen, the Leicester goalkeeper, rolls the ball to his left for Vestergaard. Now Birmingham try and close down as Faes takes an awkward touch in the right back position. Stansfield wins it on the far side and brings Bakuna into the game. Bakuna trying to outrun Faes down that far side of the field, but Faes protecting the ball well, and a goal kick is given by the referee. More live football tomorrow night on Talksport in the EFL Cup. Chelsea against Newcastle. No Christmas parties, says Eddie Howe, for his Newcastle players. There's just too many games and not enough fit players to risk anybody doing anything daft at a Christmas do. So that's our live game tomorrow on Talksport from Stamford Bridge. And then Wednesday night, Liverpool against West Ham in the EFL Cup quarter-finals, before Premier League action Thursday and Friday night. We bring you Crystal Palace against Brighton on Thursday, Aston Villa against Sheffield United on Friday. Here at St Andrews, on your home of the EFL, 12 to half-time. Birmingham 1, Leicester 2. Leicester in possession with Dewsbury Hall. Tried to slide it down the left-hand side for Mavididi, but a bit of a collector's item from Dewsbury Hall. It ran off the end of his foot. Now to play for a Birmingham City throw. Roberts level with his own penalty area. Guides the ball back to John Ruddy. Sanderson gives the ball back to Roberts in the right back position. Turn round the corner by James for Stansfield. Lovely ball out to Iwu. Dembele is well offside. Iwu released him, but I could see that Dembele was a good 2 yards offside, and so in theory, and really everybody else could see that he was offside. Free kick to Leicester, 2-1 they lead.
Yeah, it's a shame though, because it's a nice passage of play. The only thing I will say is when Stansfield drops in there, no one's replaced him in that space, so that's where obviously they're still working, they're still building those relationships in this sort of philosophy that Wayne Rooney wants. But as soon as Stansfield drops in, somebody needs to get higher.
Here come Leicester again down the left-hand side with Dewsbury Hall. Works it in field to Wilfred Ndidi, 25 yards out. Tries to slip in Fatawu right-hand side of the box, but Buchanan just puts his left foot through it, gets it up to halfway, and Stansfield is offside, so Leicester get themselves a free kick just inside their own half.
Wouldn't quite sit for Ndidi, would it? I think you saw when he initially got on the ball, it was in a good area to strike it, but it was just bobbling. That's why he played it off to his teammate, but the ball was poor in the end.
He's managed a couple of goals this season, Wilfred Ndidi, in this slightly readjusted role that he has for Leicester City, being encouraged by Enzo Maresca to get forward a bit more. Ball's rolled back to Hermansen, and the Leicester goalkeeper finds Fass in the right back position. Pereira's pushed in field once again from that orthodox right back berth. Vestergaard, midway point of his own half, feints to pass over halfway but dummies it and sends it back out to Fass, square to his right. And Fass gets his head up, tucks the ball round the corner past Bakuna for Daka. And now Fatawu. Oh, great pace to skip away from Buchanan initially, but Buchanan gets back at him, gets a foot in, gets it clear. Was he caught? No, says the referee. And Leicester have it back with Harry Winks, midway point of the Birmingham half. Clipped back to halfway, and Vestergaard. Now Fass out to the right-hand side, and Fatawu looking for Ndidi once again. Ndidi, deep cross to the far post. Mavididi volleys it across the face of goal, but couldn't find a Leicester City shirt, and it's just volleyed clear by the Birmingham rearguard, but it's going to come back at them again with James Justin in possession. Rolls it out to Mavididi. First time ball down the left-hand side of the box for Dewsbury Hall. James has gone with him, and he was clipped by Dewsbury Hall. Birmingham City free kick. We've got just less than 9 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2. Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2.
And I think now this last 10 minutes for Birmingham City is vitally important. It just feels like the Leicester City are turning the screw, having a bit more possession, looking more dangerous, not just on the counter-attack. And I think it's vitally important that Birmingham can get in at half-time, not with another goal down, not conceding anymore. Ideally, yes, you want to go in 2-2 if you can, but I just think it's so important if you go 3-0 down, 3-1 down rather, before half-time. It's a long way back.
Roberts for Birmingham. Iwu now, the right back, gets his head up and plays it up to Dembele on halfway. Just wriggled away from Justin for a moment, but as he lobbed the ball into the air, made it easy for Fass to win it back. He keeps it away from 2 or 3 Birmingham players and wriggles through some challenges before Stansfield brings him down. Super footwork from Wout Fass.
Looked like Beckenbauer there.
It was. Twinkle toes from the Leicester City number 3. And he's won the free kick that Winks has now got possession of. Plays a 1-2 with Ricardo Pereira, and now Fass is in possession over the halfway line to the right-hand side. Fatawu, faced up by Buchanan, gives the ball back to Fass on halfway. 37 minutes gone. The Championship leaders 2-1 up here. And Mavididi, who's been very threatening all game, nods it down the left-hand side, and Dewsbury Hall, ever willing, runs out to the corner flag and keeps it in play. Took Roberts out there with him. Now Mavididi again, left-hand corner of the box, finds Justin. Dewsbury Hall once again. Infield it goes, looking for Mavididi to wrestle for possession with Dembele, and he does well. He keeps possession for Leicester. Laid off by Ricardo Pereira. And Ndidi now spots Fatawu, right-hand side of the box, drives it deep across the face of goal, and Mavididi ends up collecting the ball on this near touchline, but he's worked it into the box for Dewsbury Hall with his batted goal. Brilliant turn to get away from Bielik. Pulls it back, and it's turned round the post by Patson Daka. No corner. Daka got the final touch, looking for 3-3, but Sanderson did enough to put him off, and the ball went the wrong side of the post for Patson Daka. It's 2-1 to Leicester City.
Had to be a goal, didn't it? From there, he's about 7 yards out. Dewsbury Hall does extremely well. Initially just turns Bielik inside out, and then he's got the presence of mind not to panic, to cut it back to a teammate. You've got to be at least hitting the target there if you're Daka.
So a goal kick to Birmingham City, thumped downfield by John Ruddy. Buchanan heads the ball on halfway. Sunic brings it down for Bielik, who lobs it up to Stansfield, who tries to nod it out to Bakuna on the left-hand side, but Leicester will deal with that. It's Hermansen, the goalkeeper, in possession, closed down by Stansfield, but he very calmly rolls it out left to James Justin. His ball doesn't reach halfway, but Bielik's touch is heavy and allows Dewsbury Hall to win it back for the away side. Infield it goes to Harry Winks, and he gets his head up and plays the ball up to Daka. Lovely layoff on halfway for Ndidi, and Fatawu's away down the right-hand side. Infield it goes to the box for Daka. Was he offside? Well, it took a touch off Buchanan anyway to keep it away from Patson Daka, and it just rolled through to John Ruddy, and I'm not sure whether Daka was slightly offside there, Courtney Sweetman. Kirk.
Yeah, I agree, Dance. That was definitely my first opinion of it, and just looking back at the replay, that we can see on one of the screens certainly looked that way. It was a poor ball in the end, but that switch from Leicester City out to Fatawu worked well. He's just got to get a better first touch so he can get in front of the full-back, and then the cross is easier from there.
But a VAR-free zone, as I mentioned, in the Championship. We'll never know whether the flag was going to go up or not for that, because it ricocheted away from Daka and through to John Ruddy. 5 minutes to go in the first half, plus whatever the referee wants to add on at the end. Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2. The Championship leaders have been playing a little better as the halves wore on, Courtney. I think your Birmingham did start the game well, but Leicester have, of course, looked threatening, but they've probably had a bit more of a say in terms of control of this first half since going 2-1 up.
Yeah, and that's a bit of experience as well, don't get me wrong. I know they've got young players in this side, Leicester City, but it's filled with Premier League experience as well, and you just see they're managing the bigger moments in the game better now.
Mavididi down the left-hand side of the box again for Leicester. Wriggles away from Iru, tries a shot, but he couldn't wrap his right foot round it enough, and it went a good 3 or 4 yards wide in the end of Ruddy's left-hand post, who's now in conversation, Ruddy, with his centre-half Sanderson and his left-back Buchanan. It's a goal kick to Birmingham as 1 or 2 drift away for a pie and a pint at half-time. It is Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2. Mavididi put Leicester City ahead with a brilliant counter-attack very early on in the piece in the 10th minute. Jordan James equalised for Birmingham 4 minutes later from Sunic's clinical pass into the box and the super finish from the Welsh youngster. But Kiernan Dewsbury Hall restored Leicester's lead as we approach the midway point of the first half, and that's where we are now with 42 minutes played. Iwu overhits the pass intended for Jordan James down the right hand side. He's quite important for his country now, the Wales midfielder Jordan James, and he's very much part of the plans here at Birmingham, although 1 or 2 clubs further up the food chain are having a very serious look at Jordan James. Could be the next cab off the rank, a la Jude or Joe Bellingham.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with what I've seen. Obviously, it's a wonderful finish, the technique involved in it, but also the way he plays the runs from deep. Just watched him there. If the ball's better into him, he's got the better of Vestergaard. Yeah, so he's been really good to watch so far.
Second match underway at Ali Pali in the World Championship darts. Gian van Veen, the young prodigious talent in action. Has he got on in his first set? Paul Nicholson can tell us.
Yeah, the first set is in the books, Dance. A really strong start from Man Lok Young of Hong Kong. 91.8 average for him, but it wasn't good enough against Gian van Veen, who won that first set by 3 legs to 2 via 3 hits on doubles from 3 attempts. And boy, did he need them to be accurate, because he was tested in that first set.
Thanks, Nico. Back with Paul Nicholson as we go through the evening here on Talksport 2. Leicester 2-1 up and coming forward with Mavididi. Finds Dewsbury Hall just inside the area. Laid off to the edge of the box by Daka, but it was kind of in between Justin and Harry Winks. Then they try and find Ndidi with a little ball round the corner into the area. Sunic tries to bring it clear but loses out. Dewsbury Hall for Leicester finds Mavididi once again. Looking to cause problems. Left-hand corner of the box. He's up against Iwu once more. Just twisting and turning and looking for an angle to get across in. Lovely quick feet. He goes down wanting a free kick, and the referee shakes his head and says goal kick for Birmingham City. And remember, Steffi Mavididi was booked in the first half for his post-goal celebrations. He doesn't want to get a second yellow for something as silly as simulation.
I was just about to say that, Dance, and that's the thing. If you're the referee there and you're not giving the free kick, then effectively it's a dive. He has to go in the book.
Push on Jordan James from Yannick Vestergaard. Drizzle starts to fall here at St Andrews as the balls work back to John Ruddy, and he fires a straight ball downfield looking for Stansfield. He jumps with Justin, but Justin gets a good head on it for Leicester up to halfway. Mavididi again trying to make a nuisance of himself, but he's conceded a throw. What will Wayne Rooney be saying to his players at half-time, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk?
Well done for the start. Not necessarily the counter-attacks, but in terms of the way they started, the energy, the aggression. At times they pressed quite well when they got it right further into the first half, when they pressed as a unit. Obviously the balance is something that's got to be looked at, and almost that feeling of stick to the process and believe in what you've done, the positive things that you've done. And you've just got to defend better in those vital moments. You've got to make sure, and it's hard, isn't it, as a manager, because you set your team up in a certain way. But for me, the second goal, that's a mistake of those two centre-halves. I think neither Sanderson nor Roberts took control of that situation, and that's not necessarily something that Wayne Rooney can control too much.
Into 3 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Leicester 2-1 up and in possession. Midway point of their own half with Yannick Vestergaard. Chips it up to halfway. Buchanan with a strong header to keep it away from Ndidi. But it's back with Wout Faes. And he'll give the ball back to his goalkeeper, Hermansen. Stansfield keeping a watching brief on him. We'll just start to close him down a little bit. So a square ball to Vestergaard at the edge of the area. Now a high press is on from Birmingham City, but Leicester play round it. And they get Mavididi again away down the left-hand side. Early ball to the edge of the area. Patson Daka tried a back heel for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall that didn't come off. And Birmingham bring the ball clear with Jordan James. Bielik just inside his own half, gives the ball back to James. First time pass for Sunjic, but Ndidi back in position to win the ball back for Leicester, and he releases Abdul Fatawu, trying to get Daka away down the right-hand side of the box. Birmingham win the ball back, but you just sense that whenever Leicester have possession, they're just one clinical pass away from completely opening the opposition up. Dembele on halfway, skips away from Winks. He's got options left and right. Goes left for Juninho Bacuna. Bacuna up to the edge of the area, strikes a goal. Comes off the back of Wout Faes and drifts out to the far left-hand side, where Bacuna will try and retrieve. But that was good defending by Fatawu. Goes out of play for a Birmingham City throw. Late in the first half, last minute of added time at the end of the first period. 2-1 to the Foxes.
The margins are so fine though, Dance, because that ball from Dembele out to Bacuna, just ever so slightly behind him. It needs to be with a better weight of pass in front of him so he can run onto it. And these margins are so fine, but that is the difference at this moment in time between Birmingham and Leicester.
And now Dembele tries a flick with the outside of his right boot into the path of Ayew, who was already 5 yards beyond him. And the ball just trickled over this near touchline for a Leicester City throw-in inside their own half. And it's thrown back by Justin for Vestergaard. And back for his keeper, Hermansen, on his dead ball line. Thumps it right-footed down the centre of the pitch, but Roberts gets the better of Daka. It's headed on by Sunjic on halfway, and there's a push by Dembele on Justin. And the referee awards a free kick to Leicester City, and we are just about done for the first half on Talksport 2 here at St Andrews. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle, and the leaders of the Championship lead here and are plotting a course to go 3 points ahead of Ipswich at the top of the Championship. We've seen 3 really good counter-attacking goals in this first half. First, Leicester got in front when Birmingham hit a post from a corner through Christian Bielik, and as the ball thudded off the upright, Leicester broke away, and Steffi Mavididi was slipped through by Fatawu to coolly lob the ball past Ruddy and into an empty net. But Jordan James got Birmingham level 4 minutes later. Neat play by Dembele and a super first-time ball from Ivan Sunjic for the Welsh international inside the area, who took a first touch and slotted it past Hermansen for 1-1. But then on 21 minutes, another slick counter-attack from Leicester City saw Dewsbury Hall played in between the two Birmingham centre-halves, kept his cool, showed Roberts and Sanderson a clean pair of heels, rounded Ruddy and slotted the ball home. And that's the tale of this first half. Leicester's clinical finishing on the counter-attack means Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, they lead Birmingham City by 2-1.
Yeah, and I think Birmingham actually started the better side. They looked aggressive, looked really up for it. It was high energy. There was a bit of a sucker punch, obviously, with the counter-attacking goal, but they'd just themselves gone so close seconds previously to that by smashing the woodwork. And I think for me, it's just that little bit of quality and game management that Leicester have shown a lot better than Birmingham. But I think there's a lot of positives to take for the fans here, the home fans at St Andrews. They'll be happy with what they've seen to a degree, but for me, the balance at the back has got to be better. When you flood in bodies forward, there's also got to be a thought process in the back of your mind. What is the worst case scenario? What if this breaks down? What I will also say is, yes, some of that is to do with the coach and Wayne Rooney, but some of that is the defenders as well in their 1v1 battles. And I think especially for the second goal, the mixture of Sanderson and Roberts didn't do well enough with Dewsbury Hall. But look, this is a very good Leicester side, and they've gone toe-to-toe for them for most of this first half, Dance.
Leicester looking for a 9th win away from home so far this season, and they're halfway towards that, the Championship leaders. We'll be back with more in just a moment, and the whole second half live here at St Andrews on your home of the EFL. But the half-time score here at St Andrews is Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. Get epic value all season with William Hill. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
At Eon Next, we believe life's better when you know that if you need help with your energy, there's a team of dedicated energy specialists who work hard to get it sorted, so you can get back to doing what you like quicker. We think that makes energy a little bit better. And that's why we're always working towards helping you get more out of your energy. So visit eonnext.com today.
You don't just check in to a village hotel. You work out. You jump in. You play on. You tuck in. And drink up. Village Hotels. 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
It's a most marvellous day at Aldi today with bonkers offers on the way. A 1 litre bottle of 7-Up vodka or Grayson's London Dry Gin was $15.99, now only $14.49. All from the which cheapest supermarket of the year. Aldi, share the love this Christmas. Offer ends December the 21st. Product prices will vary in Scotland and Wales.
Premier League Darts returns in 2024. Tickets are available at pdc.tv/tickets or search Premier League Darts. Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL. Talksport. Football by floodlight. Tuesday night. The League Cup live.
And it's an absolute cracker.
Chelsea versus Newcastle.
Coverage from 7, kick-off 8 p.m.
Tuesday night on Talksport.
Step up to the Oki for exclusive coverage of the PDC World Darts Championship. Tonight from 10, live on Talksport 2.
That is something special!
Talksport 2 hits the bullseye with live and exclusive commentary direct from Alexandra Palace as the giants of World Darts clash in pursuit of the Sid Waddell Trophy.
It's double two!
The PDC World Darts Championship, tonight from 10, live on Talksport 2.
The Social with Adi Oladipo and Rory Jennings. Tomorrow afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2. Outspoken opinions and decisive debate following all the action.
We talk about football in a bipartisan and educated way. Well, I do at least.
I try.
News, views, fun and football fixtures.
It's not just football though. Bit of boxing, bit of horse racing, even a bit of rugby. And it's a try!
And some phenomenal guests.
If you can't get in this squad after showing the form he showed, I don't think it looks too good for him.
This is the place to be.
It's Addy and Rory. It's The Social on Talksport 2.
What a goal! The Social. Tomorrow afternoon from 3.
It just works, doesn't it? On Talksport 2.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Stansfield, the only Birmingham player in the 6-yard box, whipped in by Bacuna, flick to the far post, oh, and off the post, as I think Roberts came flying in. It thudded against the upright, and now Leicester are on the counter-attack. Guided forward, looking to set Leicester away. It's chipped past the keeper, and Leicester lead through Steffi Mavididi. Birmingham City hit the post at one end. Leicester attack, and Mavididi lobs it past Ruddy, and in the blink of an eye, the Championship leaders are ahead. It's 1-1. and a counter-attack leads to a second goal at St Andrews, and a low finish past Hermansen and in at the bottom corner brings us level. It's Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 1. And now Fatawu tries to set Dewsbury Hall away through the middle. He's got in behind Mark Roberts. Dewsbury Hall round the keeper. 2-1 Leicester. Another superb counter-attacking goal, and Leicester go back in front. And it's Kiernan Dewsbury Hall.
Well, he does ever so well with this, Dewsbury Hall. Leicester on the counter-attack. They've been absolutely lethal so far.
Birmingham 1, Leicester 2. That's the score at half-time here on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2. Full second half commentary to come here at St Andrews with myself, Ian Danta, and the former Liverpool and Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, your commentary team. Liam Bridgewell currently on the pitch, chatting about his life and times here as a Birmingham City defender. He was part of the League Cup winning squad back in 2011, and the Carabao Cup continues in midweek on the Talksport network. Liverpool host West Ham on Wednesday, but tomorrow live commentary on Talksport from Stamford Bridge as Chelsea face Newcastle. Ahead of the game, the Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino was adamant that tomorrow's match is a must-win.
I think it means more for the people than for us. I think it means a lot because I think we want to deliver the show for our club, for our fans, for the player want to deliver the show and to lift a trophy, always is the most important thing, is to win. It's difficult to measure like it's important, it's really important, of course, it's a priority being Chelsea, and to have the possibility to win a title or to win a title is really important, and it's that we want to do. It's in our mind, it's our objective.
Mauricio Pochettino speaking ahead of Chelsea's game against Newcastle. That's live on Talksport tomorrow, an 8 o'clock kickoff. All the build-up starts at 7 o'clock, and we'll keep you updated with the other quarter-final ties tomorrow night. Everton against Fulham, and the all-EFL clash between Port Vale and Middlesbrough. I'll be there at Vale Park to provide updates on that. Let's get an update from the Alexandra Palace. Once we're done here at St Andrews, we'll bring you live commentary of the closing stages of Night 4 at the PDC World Darts. But Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson join us from Ali Pali. How's Gian van Veen getting on in his first round encounter, gentlemen?
Very interesting game. It's because, as we reported about 20 minutes ago, Gian van Veen took the first set by 3 legs to 2 with a perfect performance on the doubles. He's continued the doubles prowess, 6 from 9, because he's now 2 sets to 0 up, but don't let that scoreline fool you. Manlok Leung is going to be cursing himself as he graces the stage once again for set 3. He should have won that second set. He missed 4 darts to win that set 3-0, another dart to win it by 3 legs to 2, and then unfortunately in the last leg of the set he missed another 5 set darts, handing it to Gian van Veen on a plate. It's 2-0 Van Veen miss.
And just to remind us what's coming up later this evening,
on the
Nico?
counter-attack. Well,
what we've got coming up for you is we've got Gerwin Price coming up in the second round, and he's playing against Connor Scott, who beat Krzysztof Kachuk of Poland in the first round. And we've also got Martin Lukman up against New Zealand's Hopai Pua. That will be a bit of a pick-em game. It might be a bit scruffy at times. It'll be interesting to see how that one goes in our third game of the night. But currently it's 2-0 to Van Veen against Leung.
Mace, I'm so sorry I interrupted you when you were just getting into full flow. Let us know what you think about how Gian van Veen is looking, because there's a lot of column inches that have been written about this young man.
yeah, and he's living up to that right now. And as I mentioned, Courtney saying that Leicester were deadly on the counter-attack. Well, that's all that Van Veen's been doing in this match, because, quite frankly, he's being outplayed in vast areas of this match by Manlok, who's been, well, he's been a breath of fresh air. He's been outstanding up there. He's just been let down on the doubles. He's had 17 darts at a double, nearly twice as many as that of Van Veen, but he's just not been able to close the sets out. But an impressive performance from him so far.
That's the story of many a dart player, Mace, at this tournament so far. That we saw it last night in some of the commentaries we brought, where players well positioned, but it is trebles for show, doubles for dough.
Yeah, exactly that, and it all boils down to experience. He's a much quicker thrower than we're used to seeing. The players from Asia who come from a soft tip background are usually a very stop-start. This guy's got a lovely rhythm to his throw, and it's, you know, we often say about styles make fights and paces of matches make great dart matches, and that's what we're seeing now. Gian van Veen's loving the pace of this, and he's in a great spot now to get this wrapped up 3-0, but it's been tougher than what we thought.
Cheers, Mace. Cheers, Nico. We will be back with Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson at the conclusion of this game at St Andrews for the remainder of whatever darts is to come. It could be Martin Lutman, it could be Gerwyn Price that we join in progress at Alexandra Palace on night 4, and we do have live coverage of tomorrow's afternoon session at Ali Pali. Make sure you join Mace and Nico and Chris Murphy from 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for all 4 matches in the afternoon session, and there'll be updates on the evening session during the T20 International tomorrow night here on Talksport 2. That, of course, the 4th T20 in a 5-match series. England 2-1 down now. They were 2-0 down before their dramatic win on Saturday night, with Phil Salt hitting a maiden century, and a great performance from Harry Brook to get England over the line in the end. Back here at St Andrews, some of the Birmingham City substitutes out there warming up. Koji Miyoshi out there, Lukas Jutkovic, Gary Gardner. There's plenty of options for Wayne Rooney to change things around. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, if he wants to try and get at Leicester a different way. I just wonder whether he's tempted to do it straight away, or, as many managers do, tempted just to leave it for 10 minutes, quarter of an hour to see what happens instead.
Yeah, I think so, because there's nothing, you know, glaringly obvious in terms of, especially attack. I think they've done quite well at times. It's just, for me, the balance on the counter-attack, in that transition, making sure you've got the right numbers back.
So the Birmingham players making their way back out. Lots of managerial movement today in the Championship. Michael Beale confirmed as the new manager of Sunderland. Great quote from him, actually, Courtney. I want to be the coach of the team, not the manager of the whole football club. So he's making it quite clear there that he only wants a certain level of responsibility taking over at the Stadium of Light.
Very interesting, and I sort of like it, because as a coach, you just want to concentrate on, you know, everything on the pitch and the players. But maybe there might be times he might regret saying that, when he maybe wants an influence higher up and transfers and stuff like that. But remains to be seen how it will be done. But it's an interesting statement.
Leicester City players back out as well here at St Andrews, and Leicester City bidding to go 13 points clear of 3rd place with the win that they are hanging on to at the minute. 2 goals per game, the 2nd best possession stats in the division, 2nd best clean sheet record with 8, and the 2nd most accurate passes in the division as well. Leicester City really are topping the charts in so many statistics, and they lead with the most important statistic of all, the scoreline at half-time. And Leicester will get us back underway on Talksport 2 in their light orange shirts and socks with white shorts, heading towards the Gilmerick end to our right, which is where the Leicester City fans are. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and myself are towards the rear of the main stand here at St Andrews. Birmingham City in their blue shirts and shorts and white socks, attacking the Tilton Road end away to our left-hand side. This main stand was built in 1954 and has remained standing whilst all the changes were made around it in the early 90s and the 2000s, when the 3 new stands were built. But 2 of those new stands have had an awful lot of structural defects that have had to be worked on in the past 2 or 3 years. Leicester offside as they break clear. Dewsbury Hall suddenly sprinted away down the left-hand side as he was released by Wilfred Ndidi, but the flag went up. Let me quickly run you through the lineups. Birmingham 4-2-3-1. It's Ruddy in goal, Iwood, Roberts, Sanderson, Buchanan. Bielik, Sunjic, and then Dembele, James and Bakuna behind Stansfield. For Leicester, Hermansen in goal, Pereira, Cody, Vestergaard, Pereira, Fast, Vestergaard, Justin, Cody dropping out the starting lineup tonight. And Didi, Winks, Dewsbury Hall, Fatawu, Daka, Mavididi up front. And it's Mavididi and Dewsbury Hall have got the Leicester goals. James with the initial equaliser for Birmingham. And Dembele in possession on the right-hand side. Tries to flick the ball in field for James, but Daka wins it back for Leicester City. Still just a bit of light drizzle falling at St Andrews, and the referee David Webb has indicated that Leicester City, is that a free kick or a throw-in they've been given out on that far side? I think it's a free kick, is it? No, it's been given as a throw, which will be taken by James Justin. Looks down the left-hand side of the box and gets to the corner flag. Just drifts away from Dembele for a moment, pulls it back into the area. Dewsbury Hall tries to fire it across the face of goal for Fatawu, but a Birmingham City defender just gets his foot through it, and Hermansen, midway point of his own half, under pressure from Stansfield, shanks it out of play for a Birmingham City throw.
It's a strange decision to come that far. Equally, the pass back from his centre half, Vestergaard, doesn't overly help him, but was really strange as he kept coming towards Vestergaard as he got the ball. It was a peculiar sort of just few moments of football.
Here's Emmanuel Iwu out to the right-hand side, and Sekiri Dembele under pressure from Justin, and he's been dispossessed again, and Dewsbury Hall finds Patson Daka. Daka now in the centre of the Birmingham half, rolls it to his immediate right, and Fatawu. He works it back in field for Winks. Winks up to Dewsbury Hall, just drifts away from the penalty area for a moment and gives it back to the former Tottenham star. Winks plays the ball backwards of square to Wout Fast. The ball's back in the centre circle now. Vestergaard finds Justin, slid early down the left-hand side for Mavididi, but Dewsbury Hall won't get first to that. Indeed, Mark Roberts protects the ball as it trickles behind over the dead ball line for a Birmingham City goal kick. Reminder of the substitutes available to both men. Kelechi Iheanacho is available to Enzo Maresca, as he has pretty much a fully fit squad now. Jamie Vardy is absent, but other than that, he's got pretty much a clean bill of health now at Leicester City. Enzo Maresca. Birmingham still with a few players out injured. Kevin Long, George Hall amongst those who are missing at the moment, but Lucas Jutkiewicz and Scott Hogan are striking options that Wayne Rooney can call upon as and when required. Leicester have it back. Daka lays it off to Dewsbury Hall. Early ball for Mavididi, who gets away again into the area left-hand side. Iwood back pedaling. It's 3-1. Mavididi again, working his magic down the left-hand side for Leicester City. He got inside the box, checked onto his right foot and slammed it past John Ruddy, and Leicester now have a 2-goal cushion at St Andrews as they look to extend their lead at the top of the Championship. Mavididi gets 2 on the night and scores Leicester's third. It's Birmingham 1, Leicester 3.
2 goals, 2 beautiful finishes. They're both very different in their nature, but again, 1 and 2 touch from Leicester City, and you see the confidence. It's a little back heel in there. Mavididi knows exactly what he wants to do, just stands the defender up high with absolutely no problems. I think Roberts is a little bit all over the shop. His body shape, I don't think he helps his fullback out there. I think he can go. I would need to definitely get closer, but I think Roberts can help as well. But again, take nothing away from this. As soon as Mavididi cuts in, he's just shaping it towards that right-hand corner. I think it does slightly take a deflection on its way, but either way, there's nothing that John Ruddy can do. And I think conceding this early in the second half would have been the last thing that Birmingham wanted to do.
And so Steffi Mavididi joins Kiernan Dewsbury Hall on 7 Championship goals for the season. Joint top scorers for the Foxes in this division. And it's 3-1. And a perfect start for Enzo Maresca to this second period. He could not have hoped for a better response to his half-time team talk. Wayne Rooney was frustrated long before that goal went in. When Birmingham gave up possession just inside their own half, he sensed what was coming, and here come Leicester again with men over. Dewsbury Hall rolls the ball into Fatawu inside the area, checks onto his left and bends it just the wrong side of the post. It was nearly 4-1 to Leicester.
And it's his first touch that lets him down there. Fatawu does well with the run. He keeps himself really, really wide. He's not tempted to get infield and get caught. But the first touch then, it just gets a little bit stuck under him. You see his left foot, he's trying to dig it out. He's trying to bend it round, but he can't because it's underneath him. The ball on the weight of pass doesn't overly help him out. But the thing is, for Leicester City, they look the most dangerous when Birmingham are trying to go on the attack because the balance in the transition, they just can't seem to get it right, Birmingham.
Ruddy's goal kick for Birmingham City from our right-hand side. Lands inside the Leicester half, but it's Winks who got the flick header ahead of Juninho Bacuna. Winks has it again, under pressure from Sunjic. Work back to Vestergaard, who's been closed down by Stansfield. And Stansfield caught him as he released the ball out to the left-hand side. And Leicester City have a goal kick. Birmingham City's 13th successive season in the Championship, the longest current consecutive run in the division. And Courtney Sweetman-Kirk is chuckling away to my left-hand side. Is that the chant from the away end that's got you smiling?
And it's not even funny because he's not going to get sacked, but it's just football fans, isn't it? I think there's a very clear process in what Birmingham want to do, but they're trading blows as all football fans do, and everyone finds themselves quite funny, don't they? Including me. It made me laugh.
Leicester in possession with Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who lets the ball run across his body and then takes it and floats down the left-hand side, crosses the ball into the box, and Buchanan trying to keep the ball away from Fatou, who just puts the ball behind for a Leicester City corner, their first of the game. But that control and movement from Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall was a delight to see for Leicester. 3-1 up.
He's been the best player on the pitch so far, and early on he didn't really have much of an influence in the game, but when we were saying the momentum starting to go with Leicester City, is because he was having an influence on the game. He was pulling the strings a lot more, and ever since then, after about the first 20 or so minutes, he's been crucial part to what Leicester are doing, as he has been all season.
It's your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. And Leicester have a corner, whipped in by Fatou under the crossbar, headed out by Bielik to the edge of the area, but it's won back by the industrious Dewsbury-Hall. Chips the ball into the area. Mavididi with his back to goal tries a back heel, but it just bobbles through to Ruddy. On a hat-trick, Steffi Mavididi. And then the bowl out by Ruddy is intercepted by Ricardo Pereira. Daka at the edge of the D for Leicester, but there's a lot of blue shirts around him. And now a chance for Birmingham to bring the ball forward towards the Tilton Road end to our left-hand side. Dembele gets up to halfway, steps away from the challenge of Ndidi. Now Buchanan, the left-back, rolls it out further to this near side, the left wing, and Juninho Bacuna. Bacuna, level with the edge of the Leicester penalty area, through the legs of Ricardo Pereira. Still going Bacuna to the centre of the half. Now rolls it into Dembele at the edge of the area. Back for Bacuna, just couldn't take the ball with him, and Leicester get possession back, and Winks just jinks away from Ivan Sunjic, and the Foxes are coming forward again at 3-1 up.
Yeah, Bacuna, though, he did ever so well there, the way he's coming across the box. There's a little nutmeg in there as well, and then the 1-2, but at the vital moment he just can't quite bring the ball with him, but it was a good passage of play.
That's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside me, Ian Danter. Courtney, former Liverpool and Sheffield United women's striker. Wilfred Ndidi for Leicester. Just down beneath our commentary position here towards the back of the main stand, with the Tilton Road to our left and those very happy Leicester fans to our right in the bottom tier of the Gilmerick end. 3-1 Leicester lead, and we played 10 minutes of the second half on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Dewsbury-Hall, again, so influential in this game, and increasingly so, receives the ball on halfway and just guides it back into his own half for first Justin and then Vestergaard, who's in possession now ahead of his own penalty area. Stansfield comes to close down the space, but Winks takes over. There's such fluidity in what Leicester do. A long ball downfield trying to get Fatou in behind Buchanan, but the ball just skipped off the greasy surface and bounced through to Ruddy. The flag did not go up against Abdul Fatou, and he did steal a march on Lee Buchanan, but the ball was just hit too straight for him.
Yeah, he did, but as you say, the surface, we've had a lot of rain, it's slick. I'm just looking at this game now and I'm thinking for Birmingham something needs to change. We definitely can't concede in quick succession again, and I'm thinking going forward, do you bring a Jutkowicz on, for example? Do you bring a Hogan on to to work with Stansfield, because you need that pace, because actually Leicester City, especially two centre-halves, aren't that quick at the back, but feel like Birmingham just need a little bit of a focal point now.
Dembele caught by Justin on the far side of the field. That's a free kick. It's notable that since Leicester's third goal went in, Wayne Rooney has not been stood at the edge of his technical area. He's been deep in conversation with his coaching staff down beneath us. Ashley Cole, John O'Shea, Carl Robinson, all part of the brains trust that Birmingham City have at their disposal, and they are surely plotting what to do next in terms of tactics or indeed personnel. Now Rooney emerges, as I say that, as Birmingham have a free kick out on the far side, the Birmingham right, midway point of the Leicester City half. Dembele back on his feet and just hobbling away from that challenge. Bakuna's going to take the free kick. Just a one-man Leicester wall towards the right-hand corner of the penalty area. That's Mavididi, who's on a hat-trick for Leicester City. Let's see what Bakuna can deliver. Leicester holding their line at the edge of the 18-yard box. Sanderson again has gone to the far post. Stansfield making a run across the near. He tries to get the flick header on it, and it goes behind off a Leicester head for a Birmingham City corner at the Tilton Road end. Birmingham 1, Leicester 3 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, it's not a bad ball in, but actually I wasn't watching the attacking. I was watching Ashley Cole, and he was talking to both James and Sunjic and making sure that they were getting that balance right. They were too flat. The problem is, if you're flat and the ball gets caught on the counter-attack, you're both out. So he was just making sure they were on an angle.
Bakuna wants to take the corner, but you heard the shrill blast of the referee's whistle. He wants to cut out a bit of pushing and shoving. He spotted it because it's a packed 6-yard area. Even though it's an out-swinging corner from Bakuna to go away from the 6-yard box, most of the players are in front of Mads Hermansen in both teams' colours. Bakuna now ready with his corner kick. James waits at the edge of the area. So too Dembele into the near post. It doesn't reach Bielik. It's thumped clear by Leicester. Sunjic gives chase and will get to the ball and allow it to roll out of play for a throw, and he gives it straight back to his goalkeeper, John Ruddy. Ruddy gets to about 10 yards outside his penalty area, plays a diagonal ball out to the right hand side. It's well dealt with by Mark Roberts, and he plays into the path of James. James infield to the edge of the area looking for Stansfield, but it wasn't enough for the pass, but it's given away by Leicester. Dembele inside the area right hand side, trying to get the better of Justin. He's got support on that right hand side from Jordan James. James tries to get the cross in. Stansfield angles tight, tries to get the shot in, blocked behind for another Birmingham corner at the Tilton end. 3-1 to Leicester.
This is good from Blue. Sustained pressure, making sure that they're keeping it going. Very much similar to the first half. They were doing that more so with the throw-ins, but it's good. Keep the pressure on, but learn from your mistake. Don't get caught on the counter-attack like you did in the first half.
Bakuna again with the corner where the Tilton meets the Cop corner at St Andrews. Raises his left arm. It's a right-footed outswinger to come deep to the far post. Roberts tries to get his head in it, but Leicester did well. Defended it and hoofed it clear. I think it was Harry Winks who did the hoofing clear. Wouldn't expect that normally from him, but just to get it clear of danger. Back it goes to John Ruddy once again. Sorry, Courtney.
No, it's all right. So I was watching the touch from Wayne Rooney. He's still got it.
Yes, he managed to control that clearance from Winks. And Birmingham have it again with Jay Stansfield. Dembele out on the right wing, just nutmegs Mavididi and gets away from those fans on the far side. Sunjic works it out to this near side, the left for Birmingham, and Lee Buchanan tries to play a 1-2. Jordan Bakuna with Buchanan. It came out for a throw via a Leicester City deflection, and it's worked back to Birmingham's number 5, Dion Sanderson. Now Roberts. Across to Iwu, the right back, just inside the Leicester half. Fires it into the feet of Dembele with his back to play. Wriggles in field, gives the ball to Christian Bielik. Bielik looks up, thought about a forward pass to James. It will reach Jordan James eventually from Iwu, who's gone on the outside of him on the overlap. Gets to the byline. The cross from Iwu, very, very deep, but it will pick out Lee Buchanan on this near side. Buchanan goes to ground. No foul from Fatou, says the referee, and Leicester are able to bring the ball clear, and Buchanan slow to get to his feet, but Stansfield wins the ball back deep inside the Leicester half. Birmingham hunting in packs to try and win the ball back, and now Bielik trying to get involved down by the corner flag, and Leicester get it clear, but the home fans enjoying the industry that Birmingham are showing, trying to win the ball back. 3-1 down as they are, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Yeah, and it all comes from that, what I think, to be fair, the referee doesn't give it, but to me, looks like a foul on Buchanan. Just think, it's awful. It's high. Well, I know we've got the benefit of the replay, but it's absolutely terrible. It's high on the knee. It's studs. It really is. I think
it's Fatawu with the challenge.
Yeah, and I don't really like to speak about VAR because it causes a lot of its own problems. But I think if we did have VAR, Fatawu would be leaving the pitch.
As it is, it's a long throw to come from Mark Roberts for Birmingham into the Leicester area to around the penalty spot, headed up in the air and out by Dewsbury Hall, but Sunjic heads it back out to this left wing and Roberts lofts the ball back into the area. Good header clear by Vout Fast this time. James picks up the loose ball and tries to lob it down the Birmingham right for Sikiri Dembele, and he's won a throw off James Justin, so the home side trying to keep the pressure on with an hour gone. 3-1 to Leicester, but then the move breaks down for Birmingham and it's brought clear by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, but he can't keep possession and Birmingham have another throw. But it's not taken from the right place, says the referee, and that shuts down the impetus of that Birmingham attack for a moment, much to the displeasure of those Birmingham fans in the Kop stand on the far side. Back it goes to Dion Sanderson in the centre circle. Buchanan for Birmingham plays a diagonal ball left to right looking for Dembele, but the ball sails over his head. He's not that tall, Sikiri Dembele, and now Leicester have a throw and will try and calm things down, because the past 3 or 4 minutes have been very much Birmingham City on the front foot, trying to get back within a goal of the Championship leaders.
Yeah, and it's been good from them. It's been a sustained spell, and you feel if they're going to get back into this now, Birmingham, it needs to be sooner rather than later, especially while the momentum's in their favour and it's so high. And you just always know, though, or always feel, as soon as Leicester win the ball back, it feels very dangerous.
Jordan James clips the ball forward to Jay Stansfield, but Fast shows great strength to get in front of him and win the ball back. Indeed, he gets involved. No foul, says the referee, as lots of players go to ground and Birmingham come away with possession. Bacuna down this left-hand side, faced up by Ricardo Pereira. Placed an early ball into the edge of the area looking for Stansfield, but Harry Winks is back there to tidy up once again for Leicester City. And then Buchanan goes in on Fatawu, and that's a free kick. And that's gone the way of Abdul Fatawu. Not 2 minutes after a challenge he put in on Lee Buchanan, which the replay show was rather dangerous.
Yeah,
3-1 Leicester.
The conversation I think that now Buchanan is having with the referee, and it is just on the edge of getting a little bit spicy now. We started with that challenge and there was a few challenges after that were a bit on the edge, and I just think that battle now is something to watch, because Buchanan, rightly so, isn't happy.
But Leicester are happy, and the fans away to our right in the Gil-Merrick end are very happy. And travelling Leicester fans have had their VFM this season, 8 wins on the road, and they're heading for a 9th here and a chance to go further clear of the top of the Championship. Birmingham win the ball back. Roberts, though, finds himself dispossessed by Dewsbury Hall, who's happy to do the ugly stuff as well as the pretty stuff for his team. Mavididi plays a fierce ball out to this near side of the Leicester right, and Fatawu. Support coming forward from Ndidi, gives it back to Abdul Fatawu, works it back for Ricardo Pereira. Now Winks in the centre of the Birmingham half, urged to shoot by 1 or 2 behind that goal to our right hand side, but instead Leicester have worked the ball back out to this near side on Fatawu. Now Fast has it on halfway, rolls his foot on the ball, and it's back with Abdul Fatawu, but he has to chase back to halfway, hits it against Juninho Bacuna and wins a throw-in bang on halfway for Leicester City. Plenty of substitutes warming up from both teams just down to our left-hand side, running down the near touchline towards the Tilton Road, and I can see Hamza Chowdhury out there, Koji Miyoshi for Birmingham, and Gary Gardner and Lukas Jutkovic. Who will blink first and make a change? It seems that Hamza Chowdhury is having some words from Ento Maresca, and he will be coming on shortly for the visitors at 3-1 up. Ricardo Pereira gets up to halfway. Great industry from him, and works the ball into Dewsbury Hall, carrying the ball through the centre circle, looking for Mavididi on a hat-trick inside the area, angles tight, gets to the byline, and it goes into the side netting for a goal kick in the end to Birmingham City. But Steffi Mavididi was looking hungry for a third goal for him and Leicester's fourth on the night, but it stays 3-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, he was, but I think he does a little bit too much. There's an opportunity for him to cut back on his right foot and get half a yard and hit it there, but a couple of step overs, wants to beat two players and try and put it in that way.
Ruddy gets the ball just in front of his own goal line. He was being closed down by Patson Daka. Birmingham trying to play around this very high Leicester press at the moment. They get it out to Dembele, who's then dispossessed by Justin. Winks in a bit of space just out of the centre circle. Indeed, he lets the ball run across his body, thinking that Fatawu could pick up the loose ball, but instead Buchanan gets it half clear. Bakuna trying to wrestle for possession with Ricardo Pereira. Has been given us a Birmingham throw. Looked like it came off Bakuna last of all. And then Wout Faes gets in a bit of a mess, and Birmingham have another throw midway point of the Leicester half down this near side. Just about 24 minutes to go. Birmingham City 1, Leicester City 3 on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2 in the Championship. Here is Mark Roberts on halfway. Game over in match 2 at the Alexandra Palace in the World Darts. Paul Nicholson, Chris Mason.
What have we just witnessed? It was 2-0 in sets to Gian van Veen, but since then, Manlock Young licked his wounds and figured it out. He's won the final 3 sets, all by 3 legs to 1. And get this, Dance, he hit 11 maximums in that match. He's got Ali Pali right on the end of his hand. Everybody cheering his name at the end. He's won by 3 sets to 2.
That is a fantastic performance from Manlock Young against the much fancied youngster Gian van Veen. Back at Alexandra Palace, Martin Lukeman up next on stage in North London. He was at the World Match Play we were at for Talksport 2 in the summer. We'll check in with Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason again in just a bit, and of course we'll bring you live commentary to the end of the session once this game is over, with Leicester 3-1 up with a quarter of the game to go. Dewsbury Hall finds Ndidi. First time ball down the right hand side of the box for Fatu, who faced up by Buchanan. Went for goal with a wild left footed shot that went a good 10 yards wide of Ruddy's right hand post. It's a Birmingham goal kick, and Wayne Rooney is about to make changes. Koji Miyoshi and Oliver Burke are sprinting back to the dugout. I think they might be brought on sooner rather than later as Birmingham try and address this 2-goal deficit.
Yeah, we know Miyoshi in terms of his technical ability. He brings that sort of quality. And Oliver Burke going forward, he's got bags of pace, and that's something that he can exploit in this Leicester back line, especially the 2 centre-halves I mentioned, not the fastest in the world. But I think you just see now Birmingham, they're struggling a little bit physically. The way that Wayne Rooney wants them to play, it's high energy, and I think you're just seeing now the fact that they're probably still getting used to playing at this sort of tempo.
Well, that's what happened here against Ipswich Town, the other protagonist towards the top of the table, when Birmingham were 2-0 up and ended up being pegged back for a 2-2 draw by Ipswich here at St Andrews. Bakuna offside and frustrated with himself that he is offside, but he was looking along the line. He could see where he was, so if he was indeed offside, as the assistant on that far side has flagged, then he's only got himself to blame. Leicester free kick almost at the midway point of their own half, and Faes will just go back to Mads Hermansen, the Danish under-21, who's already made 20 appearances as the Leicester City number 1. Danny Ward relegated to the bench, and Jakub Stolarczyk on there as well. Now Kiernan Dewsbury Hall once again at pace down the left hand side for Leicester, clips into the box. Daka strikes it wide with his left foot, caught it awkwardly with his instep about 15 yards out, and it went well wide of the post, and it will be a goal kick to Birmingham City. But before that, a triple change for Birmingham and a single change for Leicester City. So the fourth official, Lee Doughty, is going to have to get busy with the scoreboard. And the first change sees Steffi Mavididi on a hat-trick, withdrawn by Enzo Maresca. So an attacking midfielder off and a defensive midfielder on in Hamza Chowdhury. I think that's a fairly obvious change, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, from the Leicester point of view.
Yeah, it is, and also the fact that just thinking about that rotation going forward, a lot of games thick and fast at the moment. You never want to come off, by the way, though, as a forward when you're on 2 goals, but probably safe for better days.
And Koji Miyoshi, the Japanese international, comes on for Sekiri Dembele. Oliver Burke replaces Christian Bielik. And Jay Stansfield is also coming off to be Birmingham to be replaced by a youngster from the academy, 17-year-old Ramel Donovan, who's made 4 appearances for Birmingham so far this season, all from the bench, and he will get his chance as part of a front three with Miyoshi. It's a brand new front three effectively for Birmingham now. Burke, Miyoshi and Donovan, with Burke going through the centre. But there's less than 20 minutes in this game. Leicester 3-1 up and heading 3 points clear at the top of the Championship as things stand.
Yeah, still a lot of work to do obviously for Birmingham, but Wayne Rooney showing what he's about in terms of trying to make those attacking changes, trying to get back into the game. But I think now it's Leicester's to lose. It's about how they manage the moments of the game, and so far they've done that extremely well.
Patson Daka putting Mark Roberts under incredible pressure, and Roberts has given the ball away to Dewsbury Hall down the left-hand side for the visitors. Daka lays it off back to Justin, and Leicester keep possession well. It's now rolled back to Harry Winks just by the centre circle. Now back to Yannick Vestergaard. Clipped by Winks out to Wout Faes just inside his own half. Chowdhury gets his first touch since coming on. It's found Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi slides it down the right channel for Fatawu. Lovely ball back infield for Harry Winks in space at the edge of the centre circle, but James closes down the space. Back it goes to Faes. Burke looking to engage him, but Winks and Chowdhury, who will look to sit in front of that defensive line for Leicester now and protect what they have. Chowdhury play the ball into the feet of Ricardo Pereira. There's no way he's playing as a right back at the moment, Ricardo Pereira. He's practically a left winger at the minute.
Yeah, he's very fluid, let's put it that way.
Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside me. Ian Danta on commentary at St Andrews, where we've got 17 minutes to play. Live football tomorrow from the Carabao Cup, and Wednesday night as well. It's Chelsea-Newcastle tomorrow on Talksport. Liverpool against West Ham live on Wednesday. And then on Thursday in the Premier League, Crystal Palace against Brighton renew their hostilities. Now, Koji Miyoshi for Birmingham receives a crossfield ball into the edge of the area, looks to combine with Jordan James. James looking for a second, it's in! Jordan James has his second of the night, and there's a chance for Birmingham with just over 10 minutes to go. In fact, just over 15 minutes to go. Jordan James has his second of the night, a deflection on it, but Koji Miyoshi, having just come onto the field, was the creator, flicked the ball in field from the right-hand corner of the area. James had a lot to do, wriggled clear of a couple of challenges, and the shot deflected off a Leicester leg and past the stranded Hermansen to make it Birmingham 2, Leicester 3.
Well, look, Dan, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. That luck's come in the way of the deflection off Vestergaard, but initially James does well. When the ball comes into him from Miyoshi, there's the nice little turn in there. You say he has to wriggle through a few defenders, but then he's just looking to get the shot off, and that's important. So many times you see in those areas try and play and get nothing from it, but get the shot off. Yes, it might take deflection on the way through, but it doesn't matter when it's in the back of the net.
Now Bakuna with a free kick into the Leicester box, headed out only as far as Jordan James lobs it back into the area. Can Miyoshi keep it in play at the dead ball line? No, it's out of play for a Leicester City goal kick. But that triple change for Birmingham City has had an immediate effect, with Miyoshi creating the assist for Jordan James, who's now doubled his goal tally for the season in one night, up to 4 goals in the Championship for Birmingham City this season for Jordan James. He's on a hat-trick now. Chowdhury at the edge of his own penalty area. Birmingham hunting in packs, trying to win the ball. Donovan now trying to win it, and then Ndidi hits the ball straight out of play, and you can hear the atmosphere inside St Andrews has appreciably changed. There's a much more positive mindset amongst the Birmingham faithful. Leicester still leading though, and still, as it stands, going 3 points clear at the top.
Yeah, but I think don't get me wrong, there'll be more chances for both sides, but I think especially when you look at Birmingham from set pieces and making it difficult, they know they only need one more big chance to get themselves back in it. So if they can get higher up the pitch now, which they probably will with that forward three, make it difficult from set pieces, I think it's going to make for a real interesting finish to the game.
Free kick to Birmingham as Bakuna was clipped just by the centre circle. Ball's just inside the Birmingham half with centre half Mark Roberts. Trying to get Miyoshi in behind Justin, but that's a good, solid defensive header clear from James Justin. Sent down the left-hand side by Dewsbury Hall, but Birmingham win it back, and then Sunjic is robbed. Brilliantly done by Leicester City. Coming forward, out to the left-hand side. Daka's waiting for a cross. He receives it now in the penalty spot, but Sanderson did enough to put him off. And now Donovan tries to get away and clear down the left-hand side, showing his pace for Birmingham, but the ball runs out of play. But Ricardo Pereira, who's now playing as an auxiliary midfielder, suddenly carried the ball forward for a good 30-40 yards downfield. He's all-purpose for Leicester City, and he almost created a fourth goal.
Yeah, I'm just watching him now in the middle of the centre circle. He's ostensibly playing in the number 10 role. It's unbelievable. I think he's played about 4 different positions in this game, if not more.
Well, if a manager trusts you to play 4 different positions, you know that you are very much valued. Tom Cannon's about to come on, signed from Everton. He was on loan at Preston last season, Tom Cannon. Only made a handful of appearances for the Toffees, and he's about to come on for these last 12 and a half minutes, and he's going to come on for Patson Daka. So again, not necessarily a central striker, Tom Cannon, but he will take on the role up front in place of Patson Daka for these last few minutes. No goal tonight for Daka after 2-2 prior to tonight. Kelechi Iheanacho also waiting on the bench, but not deployed at this point by Enzo Maresca. Heavy touch from Jordan James, can't be kept in play by Miyoshi. It's a Leicester throw. 12 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Birmingham 2, Leicester 3. Leicester lose possession. Burke tries to lay it off to Miyoshi. There was a foul by a Birmingham player, so Leicester get a free kick 15 yards inside the Birmingham City half of the field. Don't forget, we'll be off to Alexandra Palace once we're done here for the conclusion of tonight's action in the PDC World Darts. Gerwyn Price will be last on the Ali Pali stage tonight. Out to the right-hand side, Emmanuel Iwu looks for Koji Miyoshi. Great first touch. Let the ball run across his body and almost got away and clear. But that, again, was good defending from Leicester City. And it's back with Mads Hermansen.
Yeah, it was, but I thought it was almost a wonderful little drop of the shoulder. Uses his body weight, just then can't quite get away from the defender.
You say body weight, he's about 6 stone ringing wet, isn't he, Koji Miyoshi? There's nothing to him.
No, but that's why he's got to use it better than everyone else. But that drop of the shoulder, that little faint movement, looked really good initially.
Lovely touch from Tom Cannon, just onto the field for Leicester City. Just over 10 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Can Leicester hang on for a 9th away win of the season and go 3 points clear? They're only 1 goal clear of Birmingham at the moment. And Ndidi, though, to the byline, into the near post looking for Cannon, and it's headed out of play for a corner kick by Mark Roberts under pressure from Tom Cannon. And Leicester have their second corner of the game at the Gilmerick end. 3-2 they lead.
You just see now, I'm watching the Leicester players walking up, and I think now they're acutely aware of making sure they get the balance right. They're not going to flood the box too much, don't really need to, because they're aware now of the pace that's on the pitch.
The referee's gone to retrieve the ball because nobody in the Leicester light orange away shirts is in the least bit interested in going to pick it up and taking it to the corner flag where the Gilmerick meets the main stand, but eventually it will be swung in by Fatu, deep to the far post, but Birmingham know they can let it run across and go out of play for a goal kick. And here comes Scott Hogan for Birmingham City to replace Juninho Bakuna. So another attacking move from Wayne Rooney with 10 minutes to go. It's all or nothing. Hogan on for Bakuna. As Talksport listeners join us here at St Andrews with 10 minutes to go. Leicester City 3-2 up on Birmingham City, and as it stands, going 3 points clear of Ipswich at the top of the Championship. They did lead 3-1 in the second half here at St Andrews. They were 2-1 up at half-time. Steffi Mavididi powered home a third 5 minutes after the restart. But Jordan James, the young Welsh international, got his second of the night to get Birmingham back within a goal with a deflected finish just over a quarter of an hour from time. And Scott Hogan just on the right-hand side, very nearly on the end of an Oliver Burke cross from the right-hand side. Birmingham are not done yet here, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
No, they're not, and it's very much an attacking substitution from Wayne Rooney, bringing Hogan on. Already changed that whole front line. Miyoshi with that little bit of quality that led to that second goal as well. We know Oliver Burke's got bags of pace. We saw it there. It was nearly a fantastic ball in, but it was well cut out from Wout Fass. And now the big throw. All these set pieces are going to be used to see if Birmingham can get something out of this game.
Long throw from Roberts into the box. It's headed back out to the centre half. He clips it back in on the half volley. Drops away from Sanderson, but the offside flag has gone up against a Birmingham player. So Leicester get a free kick. They are less than 9 minutes away, Leicester, from a 9th away win of the season and going further clear at the top of the table. But the rest of this game is live on Talksport 2. If you want to see whether Enzo Maresca's side can indeed hang on or whether Wayne Rooney's Birmingham can find an equaliser. At the moment, with 82 minutes gone, it's Birmingham City 2, Leicester City 3. Hogan lays the ball off to Miyoshi, who loses possession to the hard-working Ricardo Pereira inside the centre circle. Ndidi skips away from Ramel Donovan, out to this near side, and Fatu trying to take the ball away from Buchanan. He's done that. Down the right-hand side of the area, past Sanderson, into the near post, and Tom Cannon fires it right-footed well over the crossbar. It's a Birmingham goal kick, and Leicester keep their 3-2 lead.
And they know now, Birmingham, they've got to take chances, they've got to get bodies forward. I think Buchanan there needs to be a bit stronger in the tackle, but you know now that the fullbacks are going to start adding in as well. Sunjic is probably going to be the one that's got to help the centre halves out. And aside from that, it's about getting bodies forward and trying to get that equaliser.
It's their first league meeting here since, well, nearly 10 years ago, January 2014, when a certain Mr. Jamie Vardy got the winner for Leicester City. He's not here tonight, so we'll have no more of those stories just yet. That would have been something that I think the Birmingham fans might have made mention of had Vardy.
Oh, they still made mention of it. I've heard them, even though he's not here.
I'm glad you're paying attention. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside me, Ian Danter here at St Andrews on your home with the EFL, Talksport 2. Less than 7 minutes to play. Leicester 3-2 up, and they have a free kick inside their own half that Winks rolls up to Cannon on halfway. Looks for Ricardo Pereira. And back it goes to Justin Pereira. Neatly turns the ball round the corner for Dewsbury Hall. And now Ricardo Pereira is making tracks down the left-hand side, but he runs into Mark Roberts, who puts it out of play with a fairly no-nonsense clearance. And there's another change. Lukas Jutkovic is getting some final instructions from Ashley Cole down beneath us. And the first player for Birmingham to score 50-plus goals since the days of Paul Furlong in the 1990s is going to be introduced by Wayne Rooney as one final throw of the dice, Courtney.
Tell you what Ashley Cole's saying, go on and get a goal. It's very simple at this point in time. Yeah, you've got to look at your set pieces and stuff like that, but as a forward in this point of the game, make a nuisance of yourself, try and get a goal, try and get us back in the game.
Sunjic gives the ball away, and it's won back by Leicester. Down the left-hand side of the box, Tom Cannon tries to lay it off to Ricardo Pereira at the edge of the area, but instead it's cleared by Iwu. Miyoshi tries to get involved. Sunjic loses possession, thought he was fouled. The referee says nothing doing, and Abdul Fattah in possession for Leicester. Down the right-hand side of the box for Ndidi to the byline. Tries to clip it into the near post, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick, and that will hasten the arrival of Lukas Jutkovic onto the pitch for Birmingham. And we'll wait to see who it is that Wayne Rooney is going to withdraw, because he's got a brand new front three up there, and so it's the right back Emmanuel Iwu that's making way. So it really is all or nothing now for Birmingham City, as Lukas Jutkovic, a centre forward, replaces the right back Emmanuel Iwu.
Yeah, it'll be three at the back now. I imagine that the three defenders left, they'll play the three.
Burke's gone out to the right wing back position.
Yeah, I think it's Donovan, isn't it?
Donovan to the left. Jutkovic, Hogan and Miyoshi all in attacking positions, and Jutkiewicz gets involved straight away and wins a header. Looked like he pushed Fatawu at the same time, but the referee said no foul. Leicester win it back though. We've got 4 minutes of normal time to go, plus whatever David Webb wants to add on for stoppages. Leicester 3-2 up on Talksport 2, heading clear at the top of the Championship. What have Birmingham City got left as they try and avoid a second home defeat of the season? Roberts under pressure from Cannon just outside his own penalty area, finds Sanderson, his fellow defender, clips the ball in field for James. James fires the ball up to Miyoshi, who controls the ball neatly on halfway, tries to release Jutkiewicz. Jutkiewicz just can't control the ball as it was threaded through to him. Lovely idea from Miyoshi, but Jutkiewicz couldn't take the ball in his stride and it bounced through to Hermansson. 3-2 Leicester.
Yeah, it's a real shame for him because he's stretching, he can't quite reach it. If he leaves any earlier, starts his run any earlier, he's offside. It's a very difficult one. It's just, half a yard less on that ball and he's clean through.
Strong header from Dion Sanderson on halfway to win possession back for the hosts. Now Buchanan playing as part of the back three now for Birmingham. Finds Ramel Donovan on the left-hand side. Pushed over, was he by Fatawu? Yes, says the referee. So Birmingham City have a free kick tight to this near touchline as they attack the Tilton Road end to our left, about the midway point of the half. I think Harry Souttar's been called over by Enzo Maresca to the bench, and the Aussie centre-half is going to be coming on shortly to help repel borders for Leicester City. 3-2 in front, remember. 87 minutes gone. Miyoshi standing over this free kick on this near side, the Birmingham left. Leicester holding their line at the edge of their own penalty area. Miyoshi floats it in, headed across the face of goal by Roberts, hooked away by Ndidi from danger. Roberts goes after the loose ball and will let it run out of play because he will hurl a long throw back into the box. Anticipation grows again around St Andrews as to what this long throw weapon of Mark Roberts can achieve. He's almost level with the edge of the Leicester penalty area on that far right hand side. In it comes from Roberts, headed out by Ndidi, straight back to Roberts. He'll bring it down on his instep, cross in with his right foot. Up goes Jutkiewicz, it's flapped away by Hermansson. Comes out to Donovan, left-hand corner of the box. Just backpedaling as he receives the ball. Sanderson down the left-hand side of the area, takes on Chowdhury. Helped out by Donovan. Sanderson again, powers his way into the box. Donovan takes over. Great sliding challenge from Wout Faes. Hits it against Donovan, and a Leicester City goal kick is given by the referee. And Leicester stay 3-2 up with 90 seconds to go, and there's high fives all around the back line of the Foxes.
Yeah, and Hermansson going up to Faes and chest bumping him. He knows how important it is. They're almost celebrating that one like a goal.
It's a double change actually for Leicester. Not only is Harry Souttar coming on for James Justin, who's going off on the far side of the pitch, but also Cesare Casadei on loan from Leicester is coming on for Wilfred Ndidi, who's got his back to play. Either he's playing possum and he knows he's coming off and just is delayed for as long as possible, or he genuinely doesn't know that he's being hooked by his manager. And now he gets the message from the referee and turns and walks toward this near touchline. Late double change for Leicester.
I like that. I've got a lot of time for that.
He knew then, did he?
Oh, he knew.
So heading round towards added time. Leicester 3-2 up. About to find out from fourth official Lee Doughty how much extra time we'll have as James Justin takes the acclaim of the Leicester fans as he walks round behind that goal to our right hand side where the Leicester travelling contingent are. About to celebrate another 3-point haul on the road as things stand. Now Fatawu trying to keep the ball in play down by the tunnel, down to our right hand side, but he couldn't do so. And the ball's out of play. 5 minutes of minimum added time. That's what we're into now. And Birmingham have a problem because Lee Buchanan has just gone down. And Birmingham have made all their changes. And Buchanan's just looking a little uncomfortable as he moves away, having tried to contest that ball with Fatawu down this near side. And he's moving a little awkwardly down this near touchline, but he will continue, but he's just holding his, I think it's his right knee.
Yeah, he
that's
collided with the advertising hoardings as well.
And those advertising hoardings don't move like the old ones in the 70s that were made of sort of floppy cardboard. These are digital, metallic, lit advertising hoardings. And you're not going to win that contest when you collide with them.
No.
Roberts for Birmingham. Forward to Jutkiewicz, who flicks the ball on, looking for Hogan. Hogan can't get a piece of it. Sutar got his head in there first. It's been a head tennis now around the midway point of the Leicester half. Jutkiewicz brings the ball down on his chest. 3-2 to Leicester. 91 minutes gone. 5 minutes of minimum added time have been called by the referee. Sanderson hits a long ball to the left-hand corner of the box. Jutkiewicz nods it down. It was a good knockdown, but nobody there to profit from it at the edge of the area. Roberts, though, heads it back. Jutkiewicz flicks it on again, but nobody there in behind, and it will just roll through to Hermansen, who waits until Scott Hogan's almost upon him before he picks the ball up. 3-2 Leicester.
Yeah, it's just that anticipation. You know, when you've got Hogan, when you've got Jutkiewicz in there, they're going to win the ball. So one of those players in behind, whether it be Donovan, whether it be Miyoshi, or even Sunjic now, who's got higher up, they've got to gamble expecting their teammate to win that header.
Sanderson wins the header as Hermansen thumped the ball downfield. Breaks out to the Leicester right for Fatawu. He lays it back for Hamza Chowdhury. Infield for Winks. Lovely little first time ball for Cassidy. Now it's picked up by Ricardo Pereira. Looks for Cassidy again, running into the area. Oh, it's put wide by Cesare Cassidy. That was a chance for a sumptuous fourth for Leicester City as Ricardo Pereira and Cesare Cassidy combined, and the Chelsea loanee made his way into the box, looked for all the world as though he's going to roll it home, and he put it a yard wide of the post.
Yeah, and that would have been it. Game over. It's nice little 1 and 2s in there for Leicester City, and then Cassidy, when you need him to be calm and composed, just can't even find the target. In all fairness, John Ruddy does well to cut down the angle, but got to be doing better than that.
Foul on a Leicester player gives the Foxes a free kick as we tick round towards 93 minutes. So 3 minutes in the minimum 5 have been played here at St Andrews. Leicester edging closer to that 3 points that will keep them above at the top of the Championship by 3 points over Ipswich Town, who they play on Boxing Day. Now here's Fatawu receiving the ball down the right hand side. He's going for the corner flag. Now he puts the ball into the area, and Roberts, in clearing it, trying to find Donovan, gave it straight back to Leicester. Fatawu going again for the dead ball line, but Buchanan, who appears to have run off his knock, put the ball out of play for a throw to Leicester City. The rain starting to intensify here a little bit at St Andrews, and Leicester looking to play out time. 90 seconds of added time to go. They're 3-2 up, and Hamza Chowdhury will take his time over this throw-in at the corner flag by the tunnel away to our right hand side. But now Birmingham have one last chance maybe to get the ball downfield and try and create an opportunity to equalise. It's John Ruddy to thump the ball downfield with a free kick, looking for the head of Lukas Jutkiewicz. He flicks it on. It's hooked away by Chowdhury towards Cannon on halfway. He lays it off to Fatawu. He looked for a throw-in off Buchanan, not given. 40 seconds of added time to go. Ball's back with Ruddy once again. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk.
Just Roberts there as he's running. You see, he don't look comfortable
No, he's
whatsoever.
moving awkwardly too. Ball breaks for him on halfway though, and he fires the ball out to Oliver Burke in the right wing-back position. Flicked in field for Koji Miyoshi. Lets the ball run across his body. Looks for Burke down the right-hand side of the area, but it was intercepted well by Wout Fass, and Leicester have it back. Anywhere will do for Leicester, and they look long downfield. But Mark Roberts runs off his slight injury to his right leg, gets there ahead of Cannon and puts it out of the throw. But that may well be all she wrote, because the 5 minutes of added time are up, and it's now down to referee David Webb as to how much more we play here at St Andrews. Leicester City fans ready to acclaim their team as they have a throw on the left-hand side that Kiernan Dewsbury Hall will have level with the edge of the area. Hooked away by Burke, but only for another Leicester throw down that left-hand side. Dewsbury Hall will very slowly go to where the loose ball is. Sends it back into play for down the left-hand side of the area, Fatawu. trying to keep the ball and protect it at the corner flag. There goes the full-time whistle. Leicester City go 3 points clear at the top of the Championship with a 9th away win of the season. They are the best team on the road in the Championship, and for the second game in a row they win by the odd goal in 5 against the spirited Birmingham City side, who tried to get back level. They were level early in the first half. Jordan James equalising after Mavadidi's opener, but Leicester City were 2-1 up at the break through Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who put them ahead on 21 minutes. Jordan James got a goal back for Birmingham to make it 3-2 after Mavadidi had got his second 5 minutes after the restart. But Leicester hung on. They go 3 points clear of the top above Ipswich. It's Birmingham City 2, Birmingham City 2, Leicester City 3. Job done for the Foxes, Courtney Sweetman Kirk.
Yeah, it wasn't easy though. I mean, there was some scintillating football by Leicester City, especially on the counter-attack. But especially in the first half, Birmingham City certainly went toe-to-toe with Leicester, gave them as good as they got. It was just the moments in the game where Leicester was so good on the counter-attack. Birmingham just got caught out a little bit in the transition. I think, especially sort of in the middle period of the second half, you saw that physical battle as well. They were just struggling with it, Birmingham, and as I mentioned, that's something that they're trying to improve, playing in a different way, and that's something, unfortunately, you can only improve by consistently playing at that intensity, training in that intensity, and that's going to take a while. But there's a lot of positive to take for Wayne Rooney and his side. And I think as Wayne Rooney as well, he changed that front line. That was positive, and he got a goal from that. So there's a lot of positives to take, and this team, by far and away, in my opinion, the best team in the Championship. They will go on, they will get automatic promotion. So the fact that they've pushed them that far has to be a positive for Birmingham.
Courtney, thanks for your time tonight, as always, here on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. So, Leicester City win by 3-2 here at St Andrews to go 3 points clear at the top of the Championship. Thanks for your time here on your home of the EFL, but don't go anywhere, because we're going straight off to North London and Alexandra Palace for the conclusion of tonight's action at the PDC World Darts Championship. Your commentary team at Ali Pally, 2 former PDC professionals, Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason, will take over.